100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a good start to their morning. Woohoo! Guess what? We are 2 days away from Detroit Tigers opening day. Cannot wait. We've got a lot of Tigers topics coming up today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Got to start out talking about these Detroit Pistons, who for the first time since Cade's collapsed lung felt like they brought back that same energy that they were playing with for the first half and well, the better part of this calendar year, too. Daniss Jenkins just puts the team on his back yesterday, and they take down the red-hot Lakers. We'll get into that as well. Before we do any of that, let's keep it local. Dylan Clark, voice of the Saginaw Spirit, is here. Dylan, it is, for us, here at the Loons, almost time for opening day. For you guys, we're just rolling into playoff time.
Best time of the year. We've been waiting for it for a long time. I know it's hard not to kind of skip over the last couple of days of the regular season and just get right into playoffs, but we went through it. We're locked in. We got the Kitchener Rangers here in the first round, and it starts on Friday.
Well, luckily, we don't have to skip over how the regular season ended. How did it end?
Well, you know what? We had a really good crowd on Saturday night, an overtime game against the Sarnia Sting that had, I think, just as many extracurriculars as everybody would have anticipated, given how things went when we went and saw them the Sunday before that.
That's what the fans want.
Really? Clearly. I think that was probably the loudest I heard the building all year. It was a good time, and it really gets you ready for playoffs. But overtime loss, not the most ideal way to end. But you know what? It was interesting because if we would have won the game and if Owen Sound would have lost in regulation, we would have moved up into 7th place and then played. At that point, it would have been either Windsor or Flint. So that was all kind of up in the air, and we were kind of in the driver's seat, but Owen Sound was up big. Well, then Kitchener came all the way back, and then our lead kind of went away, and things went to overtime. It was weird, kind of monitoring two different games at once. I don't know, however many years ago it was, but wasn't Kevin Harlan calling a couple of different games at once? He was. I don't remember what NBA game he was watching, but he was calling a different game as well. And I don't know. That was what it reminded me of.
The Warriors winning their 73rd game and Kobe's last game at the same time? Is that what he's thinking of, Kyle? Was that the Kevin Harlan moment?
Could be. I'm not 100% sure,
though. Could be it.
I love Kevin Harlan.
He's a great voice.
I do not watch very much basketball, but if I do, I hope it's Kevin Harlan on the call.
Me too. I wrote a paper about Kevin Harlan in college.
He's the man. We all any guy that calls games play by play all just wants to be like Kevin Harlan, Doc Emmerich, the guys like that. But it was an exciting end to the regular season, to be sure. And then we're back home for games 3 and 4 are going to be Tuesday and Thursday. But I mean it's going to be an interesting series.
Yeah, April 3rd, that game 5, assuming that it's best of 4, right?
Yeah.
So,
no, sorry, best of 7.
Best of 7. First of 4. Assuming that there's not going to be a sweep, which, that Friday is going to be really fun because you guys are on the road against Kitchener, and then the Loons have their opening day as well. So we got a whole lot going on in this region for the local sport.
This is where we get the good sports overlap here. It's we're as we get into playoff time, you guys really start ramping things up and. It's, I don't know. I don't know what the weather's going to be like for opening day.
Cold. Probably cold. It's usually how it goes. This will be my 4th opening day. And typically it's just colder than you expect it to be.
Do you bundle up a lot for opening day?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm outside most of the day. So it's like,
that's true.
It's not like you're walking from your car to inside. If you're going to be out there in 40 degrees,
you're out there.
It's cold, man. And especially all the guys that come over from, their spring training's in Arizona.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they've been in shorts and a T-shirt for the better part of 2 months, or that's where they're from in general, down south, or Central America, South America, and they come, what is this? It's freezing. Kitchener. This is the team that, when we were talking about the playoffs over the last couple of weeks, it was always kind of the one where it's like, yeah, in a way, I hope we don't run into them.
Yeah, no, it is. It was. And that's why that, again, it ended up not mattering because Owen Sound ended up winning the game, ironically, against Kitchener and clicking up into 7th place. And it didn't matter that we got the loss in overtime against Sarnia, but that's why it felt pretty important, those games there. Those last 2 games of the season, a little trouble up in the Sioux, and then you come home and you lose an overtime game to Sarnia. Things could be different, but you know what? This is the situation that's in front of them. And, Rangers took the regular season series. They took all 4 games of it. Saginaw was able to steal a point. It's a tough task. It really is. But, you look at where this team is at right now versus where they were going into the playoffs last season. They were without, a pretty big chunk of their middle 6. Like, no Nick Sema, no Jacob Kluche, no Sebastian Gervais going into the playoffs. Due to a combination of suspensions and injury. You lose Caden Johnston in Game 1. Andrew Oak hadn't played for about a month at this point, and we didn't see him at all in the playoffs. So you compare that, and again, Michael Misa got hurt in that series. Like, the injury bug was pretty severe. The difference this year, is it a little bit more of maybe a lopsided matchup? Yeah, because last year we were the 4, Erie was 5th. This is 1 versus 8, and Saginaw's probably the biggest underdog maybe in the Western Conference. But the difference is it's a healthy team. All of your top scorers are operating at the height of their powers right now. They've got their goaltender Stepan Shurin. He played 59 games in the regular season. We play 68. So
it's a lot.
More often than not, you turn on a Spirit game and 63 is between the pipes and kicking. So I really think that, you shake off the last couple of games, you look at the positives. I mean, this team has produced 2 back-to-back leading scorers in the Ontario Hockey League, which is hard to do. There's a lot to be excited about given the talent and given the way the rookies have stepped up in the last month or so of the regular season.
Game 1 on the road on Friday. What is the week of what does this week leading up to the game look like for the team? Is it intense practices, taking it a little bit easier? What's the mentality going into game number 1 when it's a team that's had your number all year?
Yeah, no, I think it's, the guys had we played Saturday, so Sunday, Monday were days off. They'll be back in for practices today and tomorrow, and we'll get on the bus on Thursday. I think I'm interested to see exactly what it looks like. I'll be at practice here this afternoon just to kind of take the temperature of everything. I think guys are going to be excited to be back on the ice. It's everybody kind of clicks into a different mode come playoff time, and that's one of the things I've seen in the 4 playoff runs that I've been around for now. Chris Lazary, our head coach, Dave Drinkle, our GM, and the guys themselves, honestly, they do a really good job of changing the tone and the feel when playoff time comes around. And really, it's not something that I think people maybe consider, but it is an important part of the experience. Like, these can't just be more games. This is not game 69 and 70 of the season. This is game 1 of the playoffs, and things really matter here. And this is where guys can they can kind of make their NHL careers. They can solidify legacies here in Saginaw. Like, this is a wide open floor of opportunity right now here for the Spirit in the first round. Like, is it an uphill battle? Yeah, but I know these guys are going to be really excited to get after it. Especially, they got their noses a little dirty against Sarnia the last couple of games of the regular season. There's going to be a lot more of that here in the playoffs. That's going to be every game. It's going to be every whistle is going to have some kind of stick poking you in the midsection or a glove up in your face, and how you respond to it is going to dictate how the series goes. So guys have engaged playoff mode here right now, and they'll get on the ice to start that this afternoon.
Who are a couple veteran leaders that come with some playoff experience that everyone's going to be looking up to over the course of the first round?
Well, the most experience is going to be James Go. We just celebrated our only overage player the other night. He played his last regular season game for us, and he's the only real regular holding over from that Memorial Cup team in 2024. So he's the most experienced for sure. Josh Glavin and Liam Storch they were around for those runs as well. But you know what? It's a team where the rookies are going to have, they're going to have a pretty big impact in it. Daniss was around for last year, but it was a short playoff run, right? It was 5 games against Erie. And not to say that it doesn't mean anything. That's incredibly important experience that those guys got last year for the Jenkins, the Harmers, the Cloutiers. But it's going to be a playoff debut for a lot of these guys. The most experience is going to come out of James Go. He's been there. He's been through that. And I know that he's been kind of taking, especially the defensemen, kind of taking them under their wing and guiding them through things. Josh Glavin, again, one of the more vocal leaders on the back end. He's one of the older guys, 20-year-old or 19-year-old rather. It's a younger team for sure, but those are going to be the guys that they look to.
Game 1 Friday, Game 2 on Sunday, and then the first game at the Dow Event Center on Tuesday and Thursday. They take it up a notch come playoff time, don't they, the Spirit fans?
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Last game of the regular season is always jammed. Opening night, always jammed. I think back to our banner raising ceremony at the beginning of last year, but the buzz inside the building, it gets going during warm-ups. Like, everybody's down at the glass, guys are skating around, music's going. It's just like, again, like I said, the players and the coaches hit a different level when it's playoff time. Everybody else just kind of subconsciously does it as well. I'm excited I'm excited to get the series started, game 1 and 2 on the road, but especially if they can get the split coming back home, I think you're gonna feel a very electric building at the Dow Event Center on Tuesday, March 31st for game 3.
Not to get too far ahead of myself, but if you guys do go on to win a couple of series, where's the Memorial Cup this year?
The Memorial Cup this year is in Kelowna.
Okay.
Out in British Columbia.
Kind of a ways away.
It's a ways away. We went out there when we were getting ready to host a couple of years ago. The Memorial Cup was in Kamloops, BC. And we landed in Kelowna and then drove the rest of the way. It is beautiful. That was the first time I've ever been out there. Beautiful out there.
There you go.
So, bit of a lofty goal. I like where your head's at, though.
Where can people get tickets to?
SaginawSpirit.com.
There you go. Tickets on sale right now for the playoffs.
3 and game 4.
Perfect.
At home.
All right, Dylan Clark, voice of the Spirit. We're heading into playoff time for the hockey team right down the road in Saginaw. So hopefully you guys can make it out to that. Again, games 3 and 4 tickets on sale right now for their matchup against Kitchener. Dylan, appreciate you. Hopefully we're talking again next week. Although you guys have a game next? Yeah, you'll have a game next week.
It'll be game 3.
Are you going to be able to make it in the morning?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll be in, man.
Perfect. Dylan Clark, voice of the Saginaw Spirit, here with us as always. Pistons, they picked up a win last night. Big-time win. Ended the Lakers' winning streak. Daniss Jenkins goes berserk. Let's hit that when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on the MIT, the 9 o'clock hour. As always, is brought to you by our friends over at Iron Stack Technologies. They help businesses, who are struggling. They help businesses, business owners, they don't always know about their technology. That's not their job. Their job is to run the business. They help real tech problems securely, efficiently, and without the headache. When your IT is working the way it should, everything else gets a heck of a lot easier. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back into the show. Again, you guys can get Saginaw Spirit tickets for their playoff games right now online at SaginawSpirit.com. I'll tell you what, though, that Pistons game last night, wow. Ever since Cade, we found out that he had the collapsed lung. For lack of a better word, the vibes were not very good, even though they kept winning, and they haven't lost since then, and they've won 7 of their last 8 games. It did feel like there was an enormous cloud over the Pistons' head of like, oh, man, Cade is, well, we don't know if he's coming back. If he is coming back, is he going to be able to gear up before playoff time? And it just felt like this dark energy that surrounded the Pistons for the last week or so. Maybe this is just temporary, but they completely shook that last night. They're going toe-to-toe with the Lakers. It's a back-and-forth game. The Lakers are the hottest team in the league. Luka goes absolutely berserk in the first quarter, and you're like, oh, no, here we go again. They're not going to have an answer for this. Them without Cade Cunningham, there's no match for this Lakers team. LeBron's not scoring, but he's just outwitting the Pistons with that extremely high basketball IQ. Even George Blaha had to acknowledge that LeBron was kind of dicing up the Pistons. And this back-and-forth game results in some incredible defense in the fourth quarter. Daniss Jenkins hitting a couple miraculous shots down the stretch of this thing, including the game winner. It felt like there was a little bit of a coaching battle, too, between J.J. Redick and J.B. Bickerstaff, battle of the Jays. And Bickerstaff actually came out on top. The Pistons end the Lakers streak and beat them 4 consecutive times for the first time since 2004 to 2006. What a game by the Pistons. It felt like, well, again, for lack of a better word, the vibes were very high last night, as they were for the majority of the season up until about, a month ago when they started that losing streak, and then Cade got hurt. Last month hasn't been the Pistons' month, but then you look at the standings, and just like that, 5-game lead in the East, and you're feeling great about their chances to land the 1 seed after last night's win.
Yeah, that's the tough part about when they play these weaker opponents on the schedule, because even when they were beating up on the Wizards and they had the Nets a couple of times, like, it's hard to just get that mojo back that they had in the middle point of the season where they're having all of these really close wins. They show that graphic during the game last night that the Lakers and the Pistons are 1-2 in the league for single-digit victories this season. Like, and we've lived all of those this year. The Pistons have just been so clutch in these games, and that's, I think, why this team feels so special. At least you feel so connected to this group because of their ability to win all the close games. Like, it's fun to watch close games that your team wins, right?
Yeah.
And so to get some of that back last night, it felt great. Like you said, even though they were beating Washington, like, it's just hard to get super tapped into those games when everything on your mind is playoffs. And then your star player gets hurt, and you don't know when he's going to come back. And it's just a lot of question marks. And so when you get a game like this, when the Pistons are entering a part in their schedule right now where it is going to be tough, like, how are they going to operate without Cade Cunningham? And you relive some of that magic that they felt earlier in the season. Not that it fully went away because they were still winning games, but it didn't feel the same over the last couple weeks. I'm with you on that. And so to get that last night, to get the Daniss Jenkins big-time star game, to get George Blaha on 100% hatred mode last night, like, it had everything that the Pistons were living earlier this season, and it absolutely gets you excited.
I know Daniss was the hero of last night, and I'm not just trying to, like, hey, I don't want to talk about Daniss, but I feel like my biggest takeaway from last night was Duren's leadership and his ability to have just, I know the first couple games without Cade were against the Wizards, and then they played Golden State, but Duren's ability to kind of take over as the alpha on the team from a vocal leadership standpoint and from a, hey, just give me the ball, like, I'll figure something out. Even though that's not really his game, his field goal attempts have shot up here in the last few games. He's attacking, being more aggressive when he does have the ball at the free throw line. He's getting to the free throw line as well. And then they cut to him in the timeout right before the game's about to end. And he's like, J.B. Bickerstaff's not even talking. It's Jalen Duren who's addressing the entire team, getting everyone fired up to go into that defensive possession. He's the one that gets switched on to Luka Doncic. Luka's got a chance to tie the game at the end. After Daniss hits its game-winning shot, essentially. And then Duren just has one of the best defensive possessions you'll see from him, gets switched on to Luka and just smothers him the entire time. Luka I don't even think he hit the rim on that game-winning shot. And just like that, the Pistons walk away with the victory. I was amazed by what we've seen from Jalen Duren here over the past couple of games, and specifically yesterday when you finally went up against a really good opponent.
Well, yeah, especially with the way that Luka has been not just playing, but how he was playing in that game, right? Was super hot early,
The
and then
first quarter was, I thought he was
ridiculous.
going to score 50.
Yeah, second quarter goes cold, and it was like, okay, like they've stopped him a little bit, and then the second half he picked right back up, and it was just for them to go back-to-back possessions of one, Kevin Huerter, the guy who we have just trashed since coming to Detroit, which still hasn't been like this elite three-point shooter, but I think has clearly carved out a role. Like, he will play in the playoff rotation.
They need him to.
They absolutely need him to. He gets the stop on Luka initially after Daniss hit that really nice baseline jump shot to give the Pistons a lead. He gets the stop in a one-on-one against Luka, where Luka got downhill, got to one of those floaters that he likes right outside the lane on the left side, just missed it. Like, Kevin Huerter just played good defense, forced a tough shot, and then like you said, on the Luka 3, just never a chance of that going in. Doesn't fall for the pump fake either. That's what I was worried about, was Luka getting a whistle and shooting 3 free throws. That would have just been terrible.
Because what, he got to the line 3 times in the first quarter on jump shots alone?
Yeah.
And Ron Holland had 3 fouls before we even got to the first media timeout, it felt like, and he didn't even start the game. It was like, how does he already have 3 fouls?
That's one tough part about this Pistons group, and you'll never complain about it because they play so physical defensively that they are going to pick up whistles on stuff like that, on jump shots. And
well, the Lakers are also maybe the number 1 team, they typically are. But with the cast of characters that they have, they're going to be able to use the aggression against the Pistons.
Sure.
Like the Pistons' aggression that they bring. Of course, Luka and LeBron are going to find ways to pick up fouls because of that. They're 2 of the smartest players we have.
Even LeBron got fouled on a 3. Like,
yeah,
it's just how that team works. And so, yeah, it was just it was refreshing. That's the best way I think I described last night's game for Detroit. It was like, it was like a pick-me-up. We went in the game last night saying, yeah, they probably lose. They don't have Cade, and they're playing against a team that's won 9 straight, and they have maybe the MVP of the league on their team right now. Like, they're probably going to lose, and they were up for most of that game, and they were clutch down the stretch too.
Yeah, one of the best parts too was, did you notice the Lakers switched to a zone defense late into the game because they felt like they couldn't get stops? Obviously, the Lakers' strength isn't defense by any stretch of the imagination, but they switched to the zone, and the Pistons had no problem picking it apart a little bit. There was always a little bit of worry of like, hey, what happens if a team just does decide to throw a zone at the Pistons, especially without Cade? Are they going to be able to handle it? And yesterday it was like, oh, you're going to go to a zone? Perfect, thanks. Which is the way an NBA offense should operate when you see a zone. That's the thing about a zone, man. Like, even in a pickup game, you should be able to just destroy a zone defense. It's just a matter of, are your shots going to fall? And yesterday the Pistons shots were falling, which again leads us to the question that we've been asking ourselves for 2 months now. How far do we think this team can go? And the fact that we don't know when Cade is coming back is obviously changing our perspective on this thing. But I did tell our audience last week, or maybe it was earlier this week, maybe it was yesterday, I don't think they can win a single playoff series if they don't have Cade Cunningham. I still believe 90% of that. Yesterday did really make me rethink that, though, against some of the crappier teams like down at the bottom of the East, because yesterday did feel like you didn't lock up the 1 seed. It's going to be really hard for them to blow it at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, knock on wood, we lived through the Tigers season last year. It's going to be really hard for them to blow that 1 seed. So maybe they can knock off a couple of those teams at the bottom of the Eastern Conference standings that just kind of sneak their way into the playoffs. I don't think it's off the table necessarily, even though obviously with Cade, you feel a lot better about it.
Right. I'm just still worried about Cade, like, just getting ramped up for the playoffs, even if he's not fully like playing any of those games in the regular season. That's the part that worries me the most about once playoffs do come around. Not having any basketball activities leading all the way up to the playoffs is just, it's a tough thing to do for a guy that is going to have everything on his shoulders in a playoff series for Detroit. So at least to get some of these guys ready for a world where he's not 100% ready to go, obviously is nice.
989-837-6125. Pistons, are they winning you back over? This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Minute. We're live on YouTube as well. Go ahead and like and subscribe on that end. Bresky Siding and Building Repair, they bring you our show. They're the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking a little tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky. By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mid. We've got our text line going, 989-837-6125. talking about that Pistons win from last night. We're getting into the Tigers here momentarily. We're 2 days away. That doesn't even feel real, does it? I can't believe that. We wake up today and it's 2 days away from Tigers baseball, like legitimately being back in our lives. March Madness distracts us in such a way where you don't think about it. And then you wake up the Monday after March Madness, the first week, and it's just like...
Which is a bad Monday.
Bad Monday, for sure. Not as bad as the first Monday back in the office after the New Year, I would say.
No, that's number one worst Monday. But this one's up there. Like, it's right there with Super Bowl Monday.
But
like the one yesterday, yeah.
Oh, I don't even think Super Bowl Monday is bad because you get at least to talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it's just the
day.
depressingness of like, OMG, there's no football for 7 months.
Yeah, you're right, but you get 2 weeks to prepare for that game, and everyone's going to talk. You don't have to work the first 3 hours of your workday in the morning. You're going to talk about the Super Bowl with everybody.
But you're right compared to like this week of just like, wow, March Madness is so distracting. We talked about how like I wasn't really tapped in with any other sports that have been going on just because March Madness is so consuming, and then in the middle of it, you're tossing in the opening week of baseball.
So last night I binged all of the beat writers' content from the last week. I read everything about everything.
You read the whole thing.
I read it all,
and I've read it all.
So we'll get into the Tigers here momentarily, I guess is my point on that. But I don't want to skip over an enormous Pistons win from last night because I mean you and I were talking about that game like we wrote it in as a loss after Cade got hurt. Last Friday, we were talking about, we were looking at the schedule. There was like 13 games left, and we were like, okay, there's 3 losses. There's 4 guaranteed wins. Are they going to blow the 1 seed based on the remaining 7 or 8 games that were left? The fact that they were able to win last night, I think we can write with pencil, with an eraser in the area, we can write in pencil that they're going to be the 1 seed after last night. Overreaction or underreaction?
I think it's fair. I think it's the right reaction just because I feel like I'm the guy that can't really say much because I was the person that guaranteed that the Tigers would never blow that lead. Like, it was never going to happen. If you think the Tigers are going to blow that lead, you're dumb because it's never happened before.
We got to find the clip of that.
Yeah, no, we don't. So the fact that did happen, like, I feel like I can't say anything. But when you look at this Pistons remaining not just schedule, just the amount of remaining games that they have left. Like,
do you want me to do it instead then?
Sure.
Since you feel like you can't. I'll say there's no way they blow this 1 seed.
There's no way. And there's just no way.
There are some tough games left. I want to make that
They don't even
clear.
have any head-to-heads. Like, a number one reason why the Tigers blew their lead was because they played the Guardians in 2 series in the last 3 series of the year.
Wait, side note, timeout. Saw a guy at the gym yesterday rocking Cleveland Indians hat. Is that hard in the Big 2-6 or no? Is that tough?
I don't think so.
No? Out on that? Like,
why are you even wearing it? You're in Michigan.
True. I saw someone wearing a Redskins like jacket. I thought that was kind of tough. Not because it was like just the vintage aspect of it. I thought that was kind of cool.
Any vintage like gear I'm always rocking with.
But the more and more I look at that old Guardians logo or the Indians logo, I'm like, wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So the Pistons in the standings.
Oh yeah, no head-to-head games with the Celtics or the Knicks. Which I'm not even really, not that I'm like to say like, oh, they'll just destroy the Knicks. But if you look at the standings,
I mean, the Knicks have been hot. The Knicks have won 6 straight too.
Yeah, but they have an extra game on them and they won the season series. That's the secret about this standings thing. They have the tiebreaker if they finish with the same record over the Celtics and the Knicks. So if they finished with the same record and somehow blow a 5-game lead, guess what? They still get the 1 seed. Yeah. That's another reason I feel so comfortable just kind of saying right now, even though they play Minnesota twice and they play OKC and they play Charlotte, who's another one of the hottest teams in the league, I'm just like pretty comfortable saying even if they lose those 4 games, they're still going to be the 1 seed. So the Boston would basically have to not lose again the rest of the way.
And then on top of that, the Pistons would have to lose a pretty good amount of games, which could happen. Like, but last night, like you said, I mean, if we were doing this before last night's game, I would not confidently say they're going to be the 1 seed still. But the fact that they were able to pull together a win against the hottest team in the league, and then their next game tomorrow night against Atlanta, probably the hottest team in the East. You know, they've won like 10 of their last 11 games or something like that. They won again last night. Like, if you win both of those games, you are the 1 seed. Write it in.
Yeah. Last night as well, I think it should, like, we've been talking about the Pistons without Cade for the longest time. You know what we haven't mentioned? The fact that Isaiah Stewart hasn't played in a while, too, which
True.
almost feels like a knock. Like, the fact that we didn't bring that up is probably, we're underappreciating how good he's been this season.
Absolutely.
The fact that they're winning without, I would say, 2 of their 5 best players? I would have Isaiah
Marcus
Stewart
Sasser? No, yeah, you're right.
I don't know. If we're ranking the Pistons, I would have Isaiah Stewart in the top 5 without a doubt.
Yeah,
so the
for
fact
most
that they're
impactful, important, yeah.
Yeah, maybe even top 4, honestly. Like, the fact that they're winning without those 2 guys against the hottest team in the league, you do feel pretty comfortable where they are right now in the standings. I was pretty shocked that they – I guess I wasn't shocked. They hadn't beat the Lakers 4 straight times, 2 sweeps in a row back-to-back years since 2004 and 2006. Most of the guys on the team were like babies.
Yeah, did you see Natalie Kerwin ask Daniss Jenkins, you were 2 years old the last time that happened? He was just like, all right.
He's like, I knew nothing of that.
He didn't even care.
He shouldn't, though, you know? I would go out on a limb and say most Pistons fans that were watching this game were just about ready to shut it off in the first quarter, though, after Luka forced Ron Holland's 3rd foul. 8 minutes into the game?
Well, I mean, like, let's call it what it is. Like, Luka's not an easy watch. He's not he is not appeasing to everyone.
He's a highlights guy.
Well, and he's very, I mean, he complains to the officials on every single play. Like, that is tiring to watch. It absolutely is.
Is he number 1 guy that would be the most infuriating to play against? Not in terms of just everything. Wemby's like, I don't even know what to do. You just
that
give
doesn't
up.
really count, yeah.
Luka, not only will he destroy you and you won't be able to stop him, but Ron couldn't believe he got that foul. And when they showed that certain angle of the replay, I'm not even sure he touched him. And Ron couldn't believe it. And Luka's just smiling, talking to him. The smile that Luka gives to everybody throughout the game as he's talking garbage to him, that I think would make me jump off a cliff.
Well, it would just make me, like, on the plays that even they don't call a foul on you when you're defending him and he's just spending his whole time walking back on defense just screaming at the official, I would just be like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. He gets under everybody's skin.
It would totally annoy me.
I do want to shout out John here. Thank you to Rick Pitino for giving the world Daniss Jenkins.
Correct.
All the way back at Iona. He was under Rick Pitino at Iona way back when.
Yeah.
And now he's dropping 30 on the most prestigious franchise in all of
big
basketball.
Week for John, man. Really big week. The Knicks have won 6 straight. St. John's in the Sweet 16 for the first time in his life. And then now this, Daniss Jenkins just with a cherry on top.
Best game of his career? I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, it was a career high, 30.
It is funny, though, that the conversations we have with Daniss, because they go in such, like, there's this crowd out there who's like, he's better than Brunson. And then they go away for the longest time, and then they pop out after a game
Introduce me
like
to whatever that crowd is on.
Those guys disappear for a while, and then a game like yesterday, they're like, best contract in the league. No doubt about it.
Well, the thing
$4.5 million.
But the things that we have said about Jenkins have not changed even after a huge game last night. He's the most impactful when he's in a large role. When he's playing 30 minutes a night and Cade's not playing, yeah, that's when Jenkins is at his best because he is a guy that operates well with the ball in his hands. And he's been a pretty good catch and shoot three-point guy too. But when he plays 12 minutes a game or 15, that's when it's like, I don't really know what his role is.
2 more takes from last night. Duren is affirmatively working his way onto an All-NBA team, which is going to cost the Pistons a lot of money. But if Cade's really going to go down and they're still going to take hold of the 1 seed, I know Duren didn't put up crazy stats last night, but you could feel it. He's obviously the Pistons' best player. He's going to work his way into an All-NBA team. The voters will give him votes if the Pistons still finish the 1 seed.
And Cade doesn't make it.
Oh, that would suck.
Which I was looking at, I can't remember. Someone was breaking this down yesterday just about how essentially there are 6 guys that deserve to be on first-team All-NBA this year.
Who?
And
Cade,
Shea,
Wemby,
Luka,
Wemby.
Shea, Jokic, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And so it's just going to be easy if Cade doesn't get to this game limit for them, okay, there's your 5 right there, which obviously just sucks.
Which sucks even more because if this just were to happen to Cade, if this would have happened to Cade last year, he wouldn't have gotten the Supermax.
He would have got and now he has the Supermax and is even going to make All-NBA when it's like.
And Duren is going to get the Supermax because he makes All-NBA. Something seems wrong with this system.
I think most people agree with that.
And the second thing, I know most people don't want to hear this. LeBron had 0 points at halftime, And I still just felt like he was destroying the Pistons every time he touched the ball.
Destroying, I think, is probably a bit broad.
Outwitting them was maybe the best way I can say
That was
it.
one of the better LeBron defensive games I feel like I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I would
Felt
agree
like he
with
was
that.
pretty tapped in. And obviously, you don't get those a lot in the Big 2-6.
He just was. It's amazing how he just never is not making the right play. The play where he grabbed the rebound with one hand and just turned around and threw it full court to Austin Reeves. I was like, oh my God, he makes it look so easy.
How many times did Blaha say LeBron hasn't scored yet?
100.
So many times. It was basically every time. Here's LeBron. He doesn't have any points.
And I loved how Blaha refused to acknowledge LeBron's greatness other than, yeah, he's one of the most all-around player, like one of the best all-around
He's
players
been doing
ever.
it for a long time, George.
Yeah, it was nothing. They don't want to give him anything extra. It was awesome.
I don't blame him.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. More on the news and the Detroit Tigers. A lot of stuff going to throw your guys' way here coming up. You too, Kyle. I'm going to throw a lot of Tiger stuff coming at you, including one that I'd like to buy some stock on heading into the season. Not who you think it is, though. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We talk about having the home field advantage all the time on this show. Tigers won't have it on Thursday. They'll be in San Diego, and then they'll go to Arizona before they come home and play St. Louis for their home opener. If your home or business uses propane, the company with the advantage is Forward Energy. Since 1925, they've been serving our local community with propane and fuel solutions for homes and businesses. Local people, reliable service, Forward Energy, part of the home team.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Oh yeah.
Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back into the news. Before we get into the Tigers, let's do the Mitt morning catch.
The Mits Morning Catch.
Welcome back into the news, he said. Okay.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Welcome back into the Ben Bosscher show.
No, we're welcome back into the news, I guess, because
See,
that's what we're doing right now.
This is the best part of this show. We're not trying to be perfect. we're just vibing. We're just having a good time.
Right, yeah, we can mess up. We can say whatever we want,
Yeah, some people
anybody
believe
can say
that.
whatever they want. Okay, anyways, let's hop into the news. Let's take a look at the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. We've been talking about Tigers starting this week. Well, the Loons start next week. Loons opening day next Friday. Got to let everybody know that. You can go get your tickets right now, single game tickets, whatever you want, loons.com. Excited for the season to get started, except it's still really cold out. So
Yeah, that's the
how it goes.
downside of opening day here in Michigan. Usually the first month of the season, it's still pretty cold. I don't remember as a kid April always being this cold, but I feel like the last 3 years, April's been really cold. Am I wrong?
I think that's probably just a little bit of recency bias.
Could be.
There's always a couple warm days, and then but it's still cold still.
We haven't had the super nice March days
Like
yet,
a
have
60
we?
degree. We had that one Sunday where it was like 60 and sunny, and
That's
ever
true, we
since
did.
then, it's just been like 30 to 40 degrees every day.
See, usually we do get one sneak peek of spring in March, and yeah, I think we already had it.
There's your Mitt weather report update. Okay, next thing, Red Wings Senators. They play tonight at 7. Didn't get the Red Wings last night. They're back in action tonight. I know you want to talk about the Wings a little bit later, so
Yeah, we don't dive into the Wings too much on this show. We're gonna do it later today.
Cool.
Because they're allergic to winning in this month. It's weird.
yeah, they are. Every year, too.
Every year this happens.
The Tigers yesterday are adding a bit of a project piece to their opening day roster. It's going to be on the Major League roster at least. Well, I guess technically won't be a part of the opening day, but on the Major League roster, right-handed reliever Connor Siebold will be on this Major League roster.
See what his ERA starts with for his career?
A 7.
This is just another example of Scott Harris being like, Chris Fetter, he can fix anybody. Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah. We got the best pitching coach in baseball.
Which, honestly, though,
yeah, no, good point.
it kind of works out, Like, I'm not saying I'm not all super excited about this Connor Siebold guy, and I also don't think they should have expectations for him.
No.
Am I going to be shocked if he goes a month straight of pitching like a 2.5 ERA, good ball?
Yeah.
No, because that's just what Chris Fetter does.
The Chris Fetter effect only lasts about 30 days. And then all of a sudden these guys come back down to earth. But whatever initial conversations he has with these project pieces, it is like a miracle.
Does he have, manager ceiling to him, Chris Fetter?
I don't know.
Or is he just elite pitching coach? I mean, I don't really know how all that stuff works.
I think this might be an example of the elite pitching coach or the elite assistant coach of some sort.
Yeah. I think he is pretty elite. Yeah, exactly. I mean, all these guys that are randoms for the Tigers that have turned into pretty good pieces for them over the years. So I like it. What else I like is that Tiger Woods, this is good news for a potential Masters thing for Tiger Woods.
Oh my
He's
God.
going to make so have you been watching this TGL thing?
No.
The golf league.
The highlights pop up on my Instagram. This is the indoor thing.
The indoor thing.
Yeah, no.
The simulator thing. It's a lot of people have different opinions about it. Like, I'm with you. I see the clips of it. But Tiger Woods is making his debut in the TGL finals. So there's been a lot of speculation about him competing in the PGA Tour this year and him competing at the Masters and stuff like that.
How old is he?
50-something? Honestly, don't really know.
But
I
he's
mean, he's
50
just
on the dot. At what
50 on
point
the
is
dot,
it
yeah.
sad?
He's just had so many different back injuries throughout his career, and he's kind of turned this new leaf of being even more of a funny personality. He's always the feisty hype guy, and now he's just kind of turned to this funny guy. So I don't know. I'm excited. Hopefully this means we get some more Tiger, but just wanted to throw that out there because I've not been tapped into this TGL. That's for sure.
Are you you'd be happy if you saw he was playing in the Masters?
Yeah, for sure.
At what point is it kind of sad though?
I don't think it ever is. I think it's.
He could be
I mean,
70 and it'd still be awesome.
he's competed now for like quite some time, and I mean, the Masters he won in 2019 was like the most unheard of Masters win ever. Like the fact that he won that was unreal. He's competed in plenty of majors since then, and hasn't he's been cut. Like I think it's kind of past that point.
Okay.
It's always cool to see Tiger. I think he's one of those guys that it will never be sad. Like, when I went to the PGA Championship a couple years ago, he played in it, and it was awesome to see him. Was he playing great? No, but like
he's got the mythical.
He had the most people.
to him.
He had the most people the whole tournament following him around the whole time. Like Scottie Scheffler was there, obviously. All these guys, it didn't matter. So he's just got a different kind of aura to him,
Yeah.
That's the best part about this time of year, though. We talked about how we have March Madness, and then we have baseball starting this week. That next weekend after the Final Four is the Masters.
So I typed in Tiger Woods' age on Google. You know how like Google will give you like people also ask. The questions are: does Tiger Woods still have a wife? Who are the biggest drinkers on the PGA Tour? Is Tiger Woods with Vanessa Trump? And is Tiger Woods a billionaire now? Those are just some elite. The people out there asking these questions.
Yeah.
I want to talk to these people.
It's great stuff. Great journalism questions there, for sure.
Yes, he is a billionaire, for those wondering.
Okay, let's do this last thing in the news, and then we will save the rest for later. The NCAA women's bracket, their Sweet 16 was set last night. And I don't know if you saw this, but the Syracuse head coach, who they lost to UConn by 1,000 points last night, says it's unacceptable that they keep being put in the same quad as UConn. AZ Fudd, the star player for the Huskies, had more points than Syracuse through 3 quarters last night. And they obviously won. Michigan, though, is in the Sweet 16. Michigan State is not. That's basically your update for the women's bracket.
All right. Do you want to? I don't know how much time we have. Like 30 seconds.
Yeah, we got 30 seconds.
Do you want to guess the 3 other billionaire athletes other than Tiger Woods?
LeBron?
Yep. All basketball.
Steph Curry?
Nope.
Kevin Durant?
Nope.
I don't know. You got 10 seconds.
Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. You are going current. I don't blame you. All right, 989-837-6125. We will be right back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
Saginaw, Midland.
Okay, we are back, ready to roll. The Tigers are back on Thursday. They should be ready to roll as well. I would like to buy stock on one certain Tiger after reading a story on him yesterday. It's not Kevin McGonigle. It's not Colt Keith, as we've been declaring he's the biggest X factor for the Tigers that's on the roster this year. I've got to take Riley Green. Just continues to get better as he has done every year of his professional career. Last year was the first time that his OPS fell a little bit. However, I think we would take Riley Green's season last year versus what he had 2 years ago. The 36 home runs, I know it came with the 201 strikeouts, which was a franchise record. It was the American League leading 201 strikeouts. It's not good. It was a polarizing season. Because on one hand, 36 bombs, that's a lot. On the other hand, the approach at the plate, the strikeouts, not even just the strikeouts themselves, but more so the eye test and watching his at-bats, that was the most frustrating part of it because the 7% walk rate, the 30.7% strikeout rate, the 31% chase rate is what got real ugly. I read a story from Petzold yesterday about Riley Green and how he kind of came to the realization this offseason that he wasn't thinking very situationally with his at-bats yesterday. Every at-bat was the exact same approach, which I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to this like, yeah, no duh. We all watched his at-bats. Whether there was no runners on, bases juiced, 1 out, 2 outs, it didn't matter. He was trying to hit the ball 6,000 feet. I think there was a real come to Jesus moment with Riley Green this offseason of, hey man, that can't be my approach. He had some really fascinating quotes about that were written from Petzold in the Free Press over the last couple of days to where I'm kind of bought in to Riley Green taking another big step forward this season because I would say from rookie year to sophomore year, yeah, big step. Sophomore year to junior year, not junior, but third season, big step. And then it was like a baby step. It was like, yeah, we're going to get a lot more power, but it's going to take a big hit in terms of his batting average, which was subpar last year. I think we see that batting average rise, and the home runs don't really fall at all. And if they do, it's still 30-plus home runs. I say Riley Green has the best year of his career, without a doubt, undisputed. And while all the attention this offseason offensively has been on Kevin McGonigle joining the team and Colt Keith being someone who can be a 20 home run guy. What if Riley Green's just like, I'm still the best freaking bat we have. I'm still a 2-time All-Star, soon to be 3-time All-Star, and one of the best left fielders in baseball. I'm going to solidify myself as not just a star in this league, but one of the premier perennial All-Stars that we have in the American League. That's kind of where I'm thinking Riley Green goes this year. And I haven't seen too many people thinking this going into the season yet.
I think the reason why people aren't thinking that is because of the reasons you brought up. Like, the hype is starting to shift a little bit. And I don't think it's people think Riley Green is going to decline and get worse. I don't think that is in play at all. Like, I would be very shocked if that happened.
There's just no way he has 200 strikeouts again. There's no way.
Right, but is there a world where he has 180 and still is towards the top of the league? I think that's very, like, I think the reason why people are not down on Riley Green but are just mad on Riley Green, and I kind of fall into this category, he just is what he is. I think Riley Green has shown us like the player he's going to be, which is not this. It's not a bad thing, by the way.
But I don't think who he's going to be is who he was last year. I think that is
okay.
That is the anomaly season or the off the chart season in terms of the strikeouts in a bad way. Like, that's the exception to me. I think we go back to what's his career on path. Like, he's still young. That's what people forget. We treat him like this veteran, and he is a veteran by all accounts, but he's still a young player relatively in this league. I think he can continue to ascend forward, and you know the strikeouts that he had last year, that can be one side of the bell curve.
Sure. I think there's a reason why Riley Green never got his big contract extension. Just because, and it's another thing that relates to front office versus like who was in place when they were drafted, who is in place now. Scott Harris clearly has the guys that he prefers over, and not saying he doesn't prefer Riley Green. I mean, obviously he does, or else why would he still be on the team, you know? So I think there's a reason why, because we don't know what he is. I'm sitting here thinking I think he might be the guy that we've seen last year, which is still a really good player, like 35 homers, 100-plus ribbies, just is not going to have an insanely good batting average, going to strike out way more than he walks. I don't think the strikeouts are that big of a deal if he just walks more, by the way.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's not that big of a deal if he at least just gets on base more, because that means his OPS is going up as well.
And less 3-pitch at-bats, less 4-pitch at-bats. If you're striking out on an 8-pitch at-bat, that's a lot different than going down 3 strikes.
Yeah, and still was a above 800 OPS guy last year. Like that's good. You know, that is basically the qualifier of being a good hitter in Major League Baseball. Be above 800. And so it's just, is he in the super? It goes all the way back to that talk that we had 1,000 times last year. Is he a star? Is he a superstar? Is he a franchise player? Is he a all-star? Like, where does he fall? And I think it's still totally up in the air. The stuff that you're throwing out, I think could happen. I just don't necessarily know if he can do what he did last year, the 36 homers, that amount of RBIs that he had, while also cleaning up everything else. It seems like a lot. And if he does, then he's an elite player.
Yeah, like a borderline MVP.
And I just don't know if I see that.
So what's the ideal, like, let's just strip this down to the studs. What's his ideal batting percentage or batting average to you if he's going to be 35 home runs, let's call it? Like, what would be like a holy cow, this guy,
I mean,
a realistic number where you're like, this guy he eliminated the strikeout stuff. He doesn't always go for the home run. He sometimes just wants to put it in the gap and help runners score.
It's like, to me, batting average. I mean, you know how I stand.
I know.
Batting average is like, if he hits
stat.
260 like he did last year, I think that's fine. It's the fact that he walked 40 times last year while striking out 200. Like, that is an insanely terrible ratio.
But he didn't hit 260 last year, I don't think. No, he
258.
Yeah. What if that can get up to like 280 though?
Then we have a really good player. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I really think there's a chance that if he's being honest with himself, and I have no reason to think that he's not, of this quote of like, I had a lot of conversations about the situations in the moment, slowing the game down and not letting the game speed you up mentally. I really want to focus on that. I want to take what the game gives me. Okay, that to me tells me a lot more. Just hit singles into the gaps when there's runners in scoring position and no outs. Like, there's no need, or even 2 outs, I guess, is maybe the better example. If he's really going to hone in on that and eliminate the bad from his game, and we see him take that step forward, like, maybe the question is as simple as, is it actually realistic that Kevin McGonigle is going to be the best bat on this team, or anyone on the team is going to rival Riley Green
in year one?
Yes, this season. Is
Right.
anyone actually going to take away the title of best bat on the team from Riley Green? I think the answer is no.
I think I would agree with you on that. It would be pretty lofty to say McGonigle's going to do it, and then that would also just mean like, okay, then someone who's currently on the team is going to do it, and that'd be lofty for Colt Keith. And Spencer we saw a really good version of him last year.
Very consistent player.
He would have to take an enormous leap up to pass Riley Green. So yeah, you're probably right from that perspective. And it all comes down to like the comments that Riley Green made. That was what we talked about last year, was like a mindset shift. That's what is needed for Riley Green. Is clearly
he didn't care about it last year.
He has it set in stone when he goes up to the plate, like what he wants to do, which is fine. And because he hit 36 home runs. Like that's the tough part to balance that, but it also means that you're going to have a month stretch twice a season where you are terrible.
Yeah. When we need you the most.
Exactly.
And that was the most damning part about Green last year, was people would ask him about it. Like, hey, man, are you ever going to fix that approach at the plate? Why would I change it? It's worked for me so far. And it's just like, oh, geez, man, that's actually the answer.
That's
you just
concerning.
gave. The answer you gave is actually worse than what you're doing out there.
Right.
Which is, again, like the strikeouts didn't bother me as much as the approach of the 3 straight swing and misses. That would enrage me. That was like a Javi Baez at bat, especially when the Tigers and Scott Harris will continue to harp on the fact that, well, we pride ourselves in the strike zone. And guess what's going to be even more important than any other season in the history of baseball this year with ABS? Knowing the strike zone. A.J. Hinch has been very clear about
Good
that in
point.
spring training. The teams that'll utilize and take advantage of ABS the most are the teams that know their strike zones the most. So that's been a focus for them here in spring training. Okay, Riley Green is like number one example of, hey, man, we got to just get to know the zone a little bit better. We got to stop chasing. The whiff rate has to go down. If he strikes out 170 times, I'm not really going to care if he's walking more and that OPS is high and he's still hitting 30-plus home runs. I think all of that stuff is still on the table because, again, Riley Green has just – the progression for him has been linear with last year being – I still think last year he was an all-star for crying out loud. Like, as much as we harp on the negatives,
it just
there was
didn't end
just
the
as
way
many
you wanted
positives.
it to. I think that's most likely why. Like, it ended going down, which isn't fun.
I think there's a chance – like, I'm willing to jump on to buy Riley Green stock this year. He eliminates a lot of the negatives that we thought of him heading into this season, and he's a lot more consistent of a player.
Is there a lot of pressure on Riley Green this year, especially with the McGonigle stuff of like, he might not even be on the team to start the season?
I think you can put McGonigle aside. They didn't add an external bat. Whether McGonigle's on the team or not, they chose to not add a bat in free agency. Riley Green, as of right now, is the best bat on the team. Of course there's pressure on him. They're all in on a World Series. This is, by Fangraph's projection, the number 2 rotation in all of baseball. The offense has to be above average.
Solid,
we're not asking for Riley Green to carry a top 5 offense. No one is asking that. But can it be top 12? Can it be in the top 10 of the league? Can it be in the top third of the league in terms of offensive output, whether it's runs, OPS, whatever it is? If the Tigers are going to lead some, be in the top third of some of those statistics, their best bat, the guy who's going to lead the team in ABs, assuming he's healthy, which he did stay healthy last year, that he should get credit for that.
Yeah, and that was really the first time.
If he's going to lead the team in ABs again, it's just a simple fact. Like, he's going to have to drive that OPS up again, which is going to require more walks and less strikeouts. And I'm willing to put my foot on the table and say right here and declare I'm willing to bet on that. I will buy some Riley Green stock going into the year because right now it feels like it's a little bit down to where it should be going into, will this be year 5 for a 2-time All-Star?
Good time to buy, you're saying.
I think this is a good time to buy Riley Green stock.
It'd be impressive if you could put your foot on the table.
Like that?
Oh, there we go.
989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitts. Are you willing to buy Riley Green stock heading into the season? We'll be right back. 10 o'clock hour, we'll keep it rolling. Dow, they're proudly rooting right here in Midland and making an impact all around the world. Innovations that create cleaner solutions for safer homes, more sustainable water, more sustainable futures. A company built on science but driven by people with thousands of employees who call this community home. Dow, solving with science, standing with community.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on
even bring no money?
You better. I know you better. I thought
You always be coming without no money, girl. Come on.
Hey, okay.
By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Nine 837-612-5. Welcome back into the show. I asked the question, are you buying Riley Green stock heading into the season? Let's go to the Mint messages. Tom says he was an all-star last year, and people forget he's only 25 years old. I think he will continue to improve and hopefully cut down on the strikeouts. Yeah, man, 25. Like, he's a veteran. He got brought up early. I'm not trying to give him the excuse of still being young. It's not really an excuse. It's more so a fact. Like, he is only 25 years old. He's not hitting his prime. And, well, I guess baseball's a little bit different. Primes are in different ages. But theoretically, I mean, he could continue to get better for another 2-3 seasons before he's really peaking. That's where I'm willing to come in and say I think this is one side of the bell curve. That is the anomaly more so than the reality of the situation, that he's a 200 strikeout guy.
I do think it is like, I don't want to just say he for sure is going to continue to get better. Like, I think there's a lot of cases of guys that peak early in baseball and then just fall off.
For sure.
So I don't want to put that on him, and I don't really want to throw that out there because it just feels wrong to do. But it's definitely not rare.
Aaron Judge, former 200 strikeout guy early on in his career.
Struck out a lot in that World Baseball Classic. Oh, come on.
Yeah, but Riley Green would go down swinging. At least he would do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Clutch Flo says that uppercut swing is ridiculous. I don't have a problem with the uppercut swing. I think it's fine. As long as we see a little bit more of, like, just try to make contact with it, man. I think we're going to see it even out a little bit.
It's one of those things where, like, when he's hitting homers, you're like, man, his swing is just crazy. And then when he's striking out a ton, it's like, dude, why are you swinging like that?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just you have to take some, you have to give some.
I think we see it flatten out just a little bit because it's the number one uppercut swing in baseball. That's what the graphic they would always flash last year, is that it has the highest angle going up. Brandon says, no, I've never been that impressed with him. He's good, a solid left fielder defensively. I don't really think he's a franchise type of player, though. Carpenter's way better and more valuable and clutch. Just needs to hit lefties better.
Carry Bonds, John!
I disagree with that, though. I don't think there's really an argument to be made that he's a better player than Riley Green, considering Kerry Carpenter's, like, if we talk about Riley Green staying healthy, Kerry Carpenter's the guy that the Tigers desperately need to stay healthy.
Yeah.
That guy's never healthy.
Is also truly a platoon. Like is the definition of a platoon bat.
Yeah.
Just doesn't even face lefties. Like,
no, and that's why his ABs are just way down the list. And, like, you would think that
he's never a qualified hitter. Like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, he's the best OPS on the team. Well, technically not really, because he's not a qualified hitter. Like,
he's also not the best outfielder. It's not like he's making mistakes out there very often, but Riley consistently is making some pretty incredible plays.
Sure.
Kerry does have a pretty good cannon out there, though. I will give him credit there. But I don't think he's a...
Yeah, ideally he's your DH, of course.
What I don't understand about this text, though, is, like, I've never been impressed with him. What? He's a 2-time All-Star and is consistently making, like, crazy plays, whether it's the home runs that he just deletes the ball off the face of the earth or the plays in the outfield. How can you not be, at the very least, impressed with Riley Green?
Probably because there's a lot of strikeouts, right?
I suppose. But to say you're never impressed with
him. I mean, to never be impressed definitely seems like a bit of a stretch. But I also think that, like, Riley Green is not a top, X player in baseball. Like, he's not a superstar player like a lot of these other really flashy stars there are in the sport.
Sure.
So that could be, maybe if you're not impressed by that, then I get it.
Marty says, until Green changes his swing and cuts down on the strikeouts, the answer is no. But this is kind of the whole point of the conversation, though. Are you willing to buy stock heading into the season that he's going to do that based on some of the quotes that he's had here in spring training? I think I believe him. If you want to say I'm being optimistic or a little bit too, Tigers glasses on, that's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and buy the stock that he is going to continue to cut down on the strikeouts and walk a little bit more and get the chase rate to go down a little bit as well.
I think the World Baseball Classic stuff might like help him a little bit here too. Because I don't know if you saw that interview he did. He did like this short little sit down interview with MLB Network, and they asked him about why didn't you play for Team Puerto Rico, and it was just like a very clearly he was like, I just didn't really want to. Like I didn't really want to. Like I don't really have that much. Like my Puerto Rican lineage is not that, I don't even know it, so it was kind of one of those things. And he made the excuse of like, I want to do my spring like I normally do. It messes up the routine and everything.
He wanted to play
for Team USA. He wanted to play for Team USA. It's that simple. And they chose Roman Anthony over him. And they added a couple of these other bats that, clearly weren't enough to help Team USA win it. And so, not saying Riley Green would have, definitely not saying that, because Roman Anthony was awesome in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
But I think he probably takes a little bit of slight to that.
I hope so. I would hope so.
I thought he did. Like, based off of that sit-down interview, it was like he kind of blew off the question. Like, I just didn't really want to. Yeah, he clearly did.
Andrew here texting in saying, not a chance he limits his strikeouts without getting rid of his uppercut swing. He's going to lose power doing that. And I think he makes easy plays look difficult by diving because he's slow. That is true.
Yeah, that's super true.
But he does make the plays.
He makes them, yeah. He doesn't miss a lot of the dives.
No.
But that was always the case that we made. It's like, the people that were like, why would you move Riley Green out of center field? He makes so many diving catches.
Yeah,
Parker Meadows just catches it, though.
Parker Meadows. Well, speaking of Parker Meadows, Parker Meadows, I don't take a ton of stock into spring training stats for a guy like Riley Green or Spencer Torkelson. But if we're comparing Parker Meadows to Kevin McGonigle, yeah, I will take some consideration into the spring training stats. Kevin McGonigle, 289, 3 home runs, 13 walks, 10 Ks. Parker Meadows hit 222, 3 less games. 0 home runs, low OPS in the 600, so just no power in general. 12 Ks, 4 walks.
What was the McGonigle batting average?
289. That includes the DR games.
Oh.
This is according to the Tigers website.
Yeah.
So I've seen some conflicting stuff. What's the case that Parker Meadows should be on the team over Kevin McGonigle, other than manipulating Kevin McGonigle's service time?
I'm not allowed to use that as an answer?
No.
From a helps the team standpoint? Okay, yeah. I could make one.
Sure.
The Tigers have a starting shortstop on their team, and they don't have a starting center fielder on their team. Remove Kevin McGonigle and Parker Meadows from the equation at all. They have a guy who could play shortstop every day in Javi Baez. They don't necessarily have a guy that could play center field every single day like Parker Meadows.
Counter. What about the guy who was an all-star in center field last year?
I
started the all-star game.
Figured you were going there. And it just so happens that guy is the shortstop.
Oh. Is he an above-average defensive shortstop these days? No.
I disagree. I mean, he's always going to lead the league in errors. So, sure, it's also every shortstop is always the errors list is always going to be led by the shortstops. They have the toughest plays. I still think Javi is a valuable defender. I know that some of the advanced numbers aren't going to tell you that, but
he's an average defender now, I think. He makes some really savvy moves, the stuff where people are trying to steal.
The savvy, he's an elite tagger. I think he's the best tagger on steals, but it's not something that happens a ton every single game, you know. Right. He can make a crazy play. The throw to first is always what gets him.
Yeah.
But yeah, in center field, yeah, he was he's a great defender out there, but I still don't think we can't sit here and say he's for sure the starting center fielder. He played 30 games there last year.
I think he for sure should be. Parker Meadows putting him out there. Again, you can't take spring training stats for everything. But if we're trying to put together the best lineup, I have a really hard time saying that Parker Meadows is a part of that lineup for an offensive standpoint. I get it. He gets under everything out in center field, makes it look really easy. But there's just way more bad than good with him at the plate.
Sure. What does it mean for Meadows, though? Because I think that the reason why I feel he's going to be the starting center fielder is because, here's your last chance kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get this. You're going to start the year as a center fielder of the Tigers. You probably won't bat or won't be in the lineup on days there's a lefty, and we're gonna have you up here for a month and a half, 2 months, and if things are going south, it's probably done for you. Because if he doesn't start on the team, isn't he kind of just done? Like, isn't the writing on the wall at that point?
Yeah.
You didn't make the opening day roster in like year 4 or 5 of now doing this up and down thing. Like, also hasn't stayed healthy. So that's why I feel maybe he will make it, because it is like okay, this is your last chance kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fair. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mid. By the way, if you're heading out of town at any point this week, you got to give your car the glow up it deserves at Tommy's Express Car Wash. Fast, friendly, and freakishly good at cleaning. Roll in dirty, roll out sparkling. It's that easy. High-tech wash tunnels, eco-friendly soaps, and a ride that looks showroom fresh in just a few minutes. Sign up for their Unlimited Club and wash as often as you want, because clean cars just drive a little bit better. Tommy's Express Car Wash, because your car called and it's begging for this.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. Let's do it. Let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, Kyle. So yesterday we found out Jackson Smith-Njigba became the highest paid receiver in the NFL. I want to see if you can name the 15 highest paid receivers for this upcoming season.
Ooh. Okay. Just for their salary they're making this year?
This year.
Okay, well, I
Yes.
would guess JSN's probably on the list. Oh, no, because he got his fifth-year option, so it probably doesn't kick until next year, right?
Well, do you want to do base salary or total cash? Slightly different.
I don't know. What would
Let's
I mean,
do.
what,
How about
what are you
this?
looking
Let's
at?
do cap hit. Let's do cap hit. You
Okay.
can sort this by a ton of different stuff. Okay, highest cap hits on the team, wide receivers this upcoming season.
What does the cap hit even mean?
How much the Lions have to pay him that counts against the salary cap?
Right. So is JSN on here? You
Not-
didn't really answer my question.
Not on the list.
Okay, so the fifth-year option gets picked up. Got it. Kicks in.
You're
after that.
never going to get the first guy.
DK Metcalf.
That's number 3.
I'm never going to get the first guy?
Nope.
Okay. Let's go with... I'm just got to think of guys who got paid recently, of course. Is Alec Pierce on here, though? Just because he's on my brain?
Alec Pierce is not on the list this season.
So that's good for Amon-Ra St. Brown, then. Because he's probably not on here either.
I don't know.
Is he on here? I just guessed him.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is number 2.
So
So
this
is-
cap hit stuff is different than their actual money they're making.
No, because remember, the Amon-Ra contract goes up, down, up, down. This is one of the years that it's very up.
So I need to know the details of every player's contract. Got it.
Sure.
What about George Pickens? Does that count technically?
George Pickens has a $27 million cap hit this year. That is number 6.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the standings so I can look at teams. That's all I'm looking at, I promise. I'm not cheating. So, like, Jamar Chase, though, he got paid too long ago.
Nah, he's here.
Okay.
Number 8.
Okay.
$26 million cap hit this
I'm
year.
never going to guess the first guy.
Nope.
Is he actively playing?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't one of those weird situations. How about Nico Collins? Did he just get paid?
Nico Collins has the 5th biggest cap hit of all
Yep,
receivers
okay,
going
okay.
into this
I'm
season.
kind of cooking right now a little bit. Jefferson's not on here, right?
10. Number 10.
Really? He does sneak on. Okay.
$21 million cap hit this year.
Nakua has not been paid.
Not on the list.
Yeah, he has not been paid. I was just thinking about it.
And he was, a, 4th round pick?
Yeah, 5th or 6th or something. But Devontae Adams got a pretty high annual salary for the Rams.
There you go. Devontae Adams, $28 million cap hit is the 4th highest in all of football this year for receivers.
Wow. I'm never going to guess the first guy.
Nope.
Never.
You've got most of the
How
top
about Terry
15
McLaurin?
already
Terry
so
McLaurin's
far.
got to be on here. He got a really big number.
Terry McLaurin, number 12, $18 million cap hit this year.
Okay,
You're doing
what a-
pretty good. I think you've got about half the people on the top
Let me
15.
guess either of the Eagles guys, Brown or Smith. Both have been paid.
A.J. Brown has the 9th biggest cap hit of any receiver this year, $23 million.
Okay.
Doing pretty good. His teammate is not on here.
Okay.
I will tell you this. The first person and the 15th person, really tough. Really tough to get them for 2 totally different reasons.
Jalen Waddle, who was just traded, I don't think has been paid that much, right?
Nope. He's
Yep.
not on the list.
Yep.
Teammate of somebody else that you said
J-Mo's
is.
not going to be on the thing. Teammate of somebody.
Actually, 2 teammates of people you've already said.
Jalen Waddle?
No, you just guessed him. And he's
Yeah,
not
you're
on
saying,
the list.
but you're saying Jalen Waddle's teammates?
No. Somebody's teammates.
You're confusing me. Um,
Sorry. 'Cause- 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 'cause-
Okay, what about this Stephon Diggs situation since the Pats cut him? Are they still paying him? No?
Stephon Diggs, not to be seen on the list. By the way, Travis Hunter has the 23rd highest cap hit of any receiver in the NFL.
That's awesome. They count him as a wide receiver, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Oh, I'm running out of names here. What about Michael Pittman? He just got paid by the Steelers, but they already have Metcalf on here.
No, I would take a second, like, stop thinking about the who have been paid and just who are the best receivers you haven't named so you can get some other guys off the list.
Okay, so there still is just some of these elite guys that I haven't said.
A couple.
Like Drake London hasn't been paid yet.
Nope.
Yeah.
I take that back. Sorry, Drake London, number 4. He was a first-round pick.
Has he gotten his new deal? I guess. Yeah, he probably.
I think he has.
Probably has now by now. Actually, yeah.
14.
Yeah, no, he has gotten it. Yeah.
$17 million cap hit.
What about Mike Evans getting paid by the Niners? He got a big cap hit.
You're close, but no.
Close, but no. Brandon Ayuk.
You're further away now. No, he's not on this list.
So I'm going back to the Bucks. No way, like Chris Godwin's on here.
Number 1.
Chris Godwin?
Chris Godwin's $33 million cap hit is the highest of any receiver in football this year. That's insane.
Oh, man.
That's insane.
That is brutal. Now I understand why they just kind of had to let Mike Evans go.
Yeah. It's because they're paying Chris Godwin so much money.
That's terrible. Shout out to Chris Godwin, though.
So you've got the top 6. You're missing number 7. You've got 8, 9, 10. You're missing 11. You've got 12. You're missing 13. You've got 14. You're missing 15.
How many of these guys are, like, actually elite?
They're not, like, the top tier guys, but they're pretty good.
Pretty good? Okay.
The 15th guy is going to be tough.
Like, is it DJ Moore on this list?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Think of the best receiver duos in the NFL.
Oh, I never said CeeDee Lamb. I said Pickens.
You did not say CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah,
he's 11.
That's right.
There's another duo as well.
Like Addison, he hasn't been paid.
No.
Yeah. I already said. Did I say Waymo?
No.
Jameson
Well,
Williams?
you did, but it's not him.
Yeah. And then, of course, I already did the Eagles guys, did the Cowboys guys, did the Rams guys.
There's like one more.
Oh, T. Higgins. T.
Yeah,
Higgins.
he's got the 7th highest cap hit this year. So you're just missing 13 and 15 now. One of them is the former like top receiver in the NFL, and one of them, I don't even know how to describe him. He's been with this team, I think, his whole career. He's never given the team what they want, but it's such a tough guy.
Zay Flowers?
No, but similar career trajectory.
That description just screamed Zay Flowers to me.
Very similar, I would say worse, though. Has never peaked as high as Zay Flowers.
Okay.
And is no longer the wide receiver 1.
Chris
thank God.
Olave?
No.
No, he hasn't been paid.
He's 16, though.
Oh, okay. Former first
This
round
person's
pick.
way worse than Chris Olave.
Way worse?
Way worse.
How long have you been in the league?
A while. It's like he's usually on somebody's bench in fantasy, and if
Right.
you have to start him, it's like, oh, man. We're losing this week.
Oh, man, really? That's... You might just have to give it to me. I might tap out here.
You can get 13, though. I believe you can get
Give
13.
me a conference.
NFC. The former best receiver in football.
Former best in the league?
2-time Super Bowl champ.
Devontae Adams, we already said. Former best in the NFL.
For 1 year, yeah.
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, there you go.
The 2-time Super Bowl champ kind of threw me off because I was just thinking with the same team.
I'm going to give you 3 more guesses for this 15th spot, and after you get one wrong, I'll give you another hint each time.
Okay. What's my first hint, though?
Let me see what round he was picked in. Kind of just, there's your first hint. It starts with a duh.
I wasn't even really paying attention.
Yeah, 5th round pick.
5th round pick, duh. Now I'm just really thinking about duh. DeAndre Hopkins?
No, it's
No
more
way.
like dare. It's not DeAndre Hopkins.
You might as well just say it.
Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton?
15th highest paid receiver in the NFL
Oh,
this year.
my goodness. I was not expecting that.
Yeah. That one was going to be tough. I'm glad you got to Godwin, though. That is shocking.
Yeah, Godwin is. I did not know that.
That's got to be in the conversation for worst contracts in
How
the
long is
NFL.
that deal, though, right? It can't be very, it's got to be 1 or 2 more years of them paying that. It can't be very long. Because obviously he was coming off the injury, and then they paid him.
Guess what? He's got a club option after this year, which he'll just, I can't imagine Tampa's picking up. If they were to, $29 million cap it again next year. Then he's voided through 2029. So they're still paying him.
How have they not restructured that deal, though?
I don't know.
Paying him all that this season? He better have a big year. Maybe I'll draft him in fantasy.
That's got to be in the conversation for one of the worst contracts in all of the NFL. Crazy. All right, 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Around the League, as always, is brought to you by Air Insurance. They understand not everyone's insurance needs are the same. They want to work personally with you to create something best suited for your needs, whether it's life, home, auto, fiscal, insurance. It's all available with the Air Insurance Group with Farm Bureau Insurance.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on one. Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
I don't often do this, but I think we have to do it today. The Red Wings play the Senators today. I'm declaring this a must-win game.
What?
We have to. Are you aware of what the Red Wings have done in March each of the last 2 seasons? And I'll include this year, so really it's 2.5 years. The last 2.5 years of March, it's been a disaster. A complete and utter disaster. This year, they're 4-4-2. That's the best record they've had in March over that stretch. The issue with 4-4-2 is they have fallen out of a wild card spot. They no longer are holding a playoff spot as we speak today. The Senators not only are right in the standings with the Wings. It's the Wings, and then the Senators are right below them. It's also one of those teams that they've had a little mini rivalry with over the last couple of years. They can't keep slipping. They can't fall to a 4-5-2 record here in the month of March and collapse once again, because if this thing starts to get a little bit too far out of reach and it's like, okay, now to make the playoffs, all of a sudden the Wings have to get really hot to close the season in the last 10 games, I just don't think they're going to be able to do it. They have to right the ship sooner rather than later if they want to end the drought of playoffs. They haven't been in the playoffs since Dylan Larkin's rookie season in 2016. It is the longest playoff drought in franchise history. It is the second longest drought in all of hockey right now. Buffalo has the number 1 drought, and they're going to be in the playoffs. Do we really want the Red Wings to hold the title of the longest drought, playoff drought, in all of hockey? No, of course we don't. Which means they have to right the ship before it's irreversible. And I fear a loss tonight. We're approaching that territory of, hey man, you're falling way too far right now for us to be able to correct this thing, for us to be able to course correct. I'm deeming it a must-win game, Kyle.
Would you consider this a must-win game?
Where did you get that sounder? That is hilarious.
Yeah, look, it's tough when you throw that stuff around about the playoff drought for a franchise that just has such an elite history. Mm-hmm. That's the part about it that sucks. And so we always throw around a must-win game, and we probably throw it around too much, and that's kind of like the whole meme about, oh, you can't have a must-win game in the regular season. But yeah, I mean, the Wings just, it feels like every time that you have the opportunity to really dial into them when not a lot of other stuff is going on, aka tonight, that's when they let you down, especially in this month. This is the conversation we had a year ago, and it was a conversation we had the year before that. It's just, it's this time of year, man.
You want the records the last 2 Marches? This year, 4-4-2. Last year, 3-9-2. I'm sorry, last year, 4-10. And then 2 years ago, 3-9-2. What is wrong with them this
month? It's really bad.
There's been injuries. 2 years ago, Larkin got hurt. I don't know what happened last year. I don't know what's happening right now. I know Larkin's been in and out, but they're allergic to winning this month, and it's cost them a playoff spot each of the last 2 seasons. And it feels like we're kind of watching history repeat itself here so far, 24 days into March. Again, Senators are another team that are in the mix to make the wild card race. And I really fear if they lose a couple games in a row here and all of a sudden it's like, sweet, they're 6 points out, it might just be one of those situations where once you lose it, you never really can get it back. They've already lost it. Here's a chance to kind of correct everything and make sure you establish yourself as a team that's still in this race, where if you lose and you lose a couple more here the rest of the month, all of a sudden there might be too much ground to make up. I'm fearful for this team, unfortunately.
It feels like they're in a better spot right now than they were those last couple of years, at least. Just based off of how the entirety of the regular season has gone. But how they've been playing, over the last couple of weeks, and even you could stretch it out to a month or two, that doesn't make you feel great, especially at this point in the season.
No, it doesn't make you feel great. And if you look at their schedule, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games left. That's it. A lot of these are nationally televised. ESPN Plus tonight, NHL Network on Friday, ABC Saturday game. ABC Saturday night. That's like prime time. Another ABC game the following week against the Rangers. They've got a TNT game. Their last game of the year against Florida is a TNT game. Like, a lot of people are going to be circling the wings as like, hey, can they finally end this drought? This is, I think, going to become a national story here in the last 3 weeks of the season, in the last 20-so days of the season that we have left in the NHL season. Look, I'd be lying if I told you I was tapped in every single game throughout the entirety of the year. I follow it from afar for the most part. This might be the time to kind of hop on the train of making sure you're locked in every night to this team, because I think this is going to become a national story, not just a local one, of can this team get back into the playoffs. It becomes a national story if they do. If they don't, this becomes...
I say that might even be bigger if they don't.
It becomes somewhat of a catastrophe for Steve Yzerman, the Yzer plan, the Red Wings, Chris Ilitch, like everybody involved.
Hell, we gave Todd McClellan the Coach of the Year at the Midi Awards at the end of the year.
Yeah. All of a sudden, we're going to be looking at him like, what
why,
the hell
Why
happened?
did we do that? Yeah.
How are you continuing to blow a lead for a playoff spot? I mean, it doesn't really feel like that long ago that they were in first place in the Eastern Conference. That was not that long ago. And now they're not even holding on to a playoff spot as we speak. You can blame injuries. If you want to do that, so be it. The reality of the situation is this has happened 3 years in a row in the final stretch of the season. And it's getting to a point where there's not really any excuses left for this team. That's the most frustrating part. And all of a sudden, we could be entering a very dangerous territory if they don't miss the playoffs, or if they don't make the playoffs again for everybody's job over there. I get it. Everyone thinks they've continued to take step forwards. They bought at the trade deadline this year. At what point do you actually have to ask yourself, is this working? Because they could be stuck in this hell for a while of like, well, we're good, but we're not really good to make the playoffs, but we're not bad. We're just we've been treading water here for 3 years.
I don't think there'd be anybody that would still be in favor of the Yzer plan, right? It would have to be over. I would be shocked if there'd be anyone that was still defending if they missed the playoffs.
Now they don't have a first-round pick. That's the worst part about this, which is why, like, for years we've been saying, hey, be more aggressive in the trades, be more aggressive, try to add people in free agency. And, like, there's been some good moves, like bringing in DeBrincat and Kane, I think was a good signing, and they've been able to retain him. But now that you start trading away first-round picks and you're not even going to get into the playoffs, it's like, whoa, are we sure that was a good idea? We wanted you to be aggressive, but we wanted to make sure it was for the right players. And if you're trading first-round picks and you still don't make the playoffs, I mean, everyone wants Steve Yzerman to bring the success
for sure
that he brought
It'd be an
to
awesome
Tampa.
Story.
Yeah, I mean, they went crazy in Tampa. He won 3 titles as the GM there, or at least they won 3 titles because of him. It would have been a great story to come back to Detroit and do it again. It has not worked, and now all of a sudden they're in a situation where I'm kind of afraid of them blowing this thing again. Because if we're going to look up strength of schedule remaining, I know I said that they've got Ottawa tonight in what I'm deeming a must-win game. The rest of the season with these 12 games that are left, the Red Wings' strength of schedule is 11th. So it's not like it's crazy hard, but it's certainly not easy. They've got some tough teams left, like Buffalo, like Tampa, like Pittsburgh. The Senators, like starting tonight, this is a game that they've got to take care of business with, especially at home. Here's my prediction. If they lose tonight, they're getting booed off the ice. And that's not a way you want to roll out into a road trip.
At least we know how we're going to watch that team, though.
How would that be?
Like you named off where we're watching them.
Oh, we'll get into the other thing when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.
coming without no money, girl. Come on.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, welcome back in. 11 o'clock hour brought to you by Yiter Insurance. We're rocking and rolling here. So the Tigers start in 2 days. We have no idea if they're going to be playing on cable television or not, though. Even if you're signed up for FanDuel Sports Network, I've got bad news for you. If you don't already know, Tigers won't be on there. All right, you're going to be paying for both if you don't cancel it. So unless you want to rock out the rest of the Wings season, rock out the rest of the Pistons season, but I already told you there's a ton of national games coming up for the Red Wings here to end the season. You got to cancel FanDuel Sports Network until the Pistons roll around because they're going to be the only team on that network as of right now. The Tigers are supposed to be playing on Detroit Sports Net. As of right now, that is the only way you can watch them. And you have to pay $20 a month in order to do so, or $190 for the year. That's pretty expensive to watch one team, I would say. You got to pay $20 a month just to watch the Tigers. Red Wings plan on being on Detroit Sports Net. The problem is they're finishing out their season on Bally. So if you're a diehard Tigers Wings person, you're paying for two different networks for the rest of the year. Like, there's a really lack of timing and crossover that really screws over fans for about a month. The most frustrating part for a lot of people, though, is right now the Tigers aren't even going to be on cable television. And people from Illich Entertainment Plus have insisted that come opening day, you're going to be able to watch them on your local cable provider. As of right now, we're 2 days away from opening day, and that's not the case. This has become such a disaster and such a mess. Like, even best case scenario, the Wings and Tigers end up on the same network this year. That's not going to happen. You'd have to download two different apps because the only way to watch the Tigers is through the MLB app right now. But you have to pay on a website that's not the MLB app to watch them. It has become so confused. Like, even I'm somewhat confused on how to watch the games. And I'm not someone to usually get confused by that sort of stuff. I'm not someone to complain, they're on so many games on different networks. I'm fine. I'll figure it out. I'm young. Even I'm having a hard time understanding what the hell is going on with this Detroit Sportsnet and how are people going to watch the Tigers this year? We're 2 days away, and it feels like there's not really a lot of answers.
I don't think anyone knows how we're going to watch the Tigers. Like, I still don't, even if I knew right now it's not going to be on DirecTV, this Detroit Sportsnet's not going to partner with them or Charter or Dish, whatever local TV provider you have, YouTube TV, even if you want to go the streaming route. I still don't even know how to watch them on the net MLB app thing. And I feel like I know all of this stuff. Because, one, I've just kind of avoided it because it frustrates me. So that's probably why. But, yeah, this is just the word. It's so bad. And it doesn't help that, the FanDuel Sports Network, and, you can say all this now because it's going to cease to exist. But,
No. The Pistons, as of right now, still locked and loaded onto the FanDuel Sports Network.
But even for next season?
Who knows?
I thought FanDuel Sports Network was, getting wiped out. I thought it was just, getting slimed out.
Maybe. You could be right. I don't know.
Right. The fact that we don't know is just, that's the worst part about all of this.
I think the worst part about all of it is the fact that the Pistons aren't included in this Detroit Sports Network network. I don't even know what to call it. Because if it's three teams for $20 a month or $190 or $180 for the year, whatever it is, that I can live with that. One team, and I'm paying $20 a month for until the Red Wings season starts up again. That's insanity, dude.
I mean, that's the worst part about
crazy.
this is no one pays $20 a month for a streaming service. And I'm not counting a YouTube TV or a Hulu Live that is your entirety of your TV network.
Right, that's different.
That's different. You get to watch every channel you want. You have different packages, this and that. No one's paying $20 a month to watch Peacock NBA. No one's paying $20 to watch Netflix or to watch Amazon Prime or to watch Paramount Plus or HBO Max. I'm ripping all these off. None of those are $20 a month.
Most of them aren't 10 at their base versions.
Exactly. I get to see ads. And then I'm going to pay $20 a month for, let's be frank, probably a streaming service that just is not going to be nearly the quality of a Peacock Sunday Night Baseball game.
For sure not.
Like, at least that you get to listen to Jason Benetti, which is awesome. I love having Benetti as the voice of the Tigers. It's a tremendous thing that they have.
But he's employed by the Tigers no matter where their broadcasts are. He
Correct.
will be their voice.
And he also is like the one reason why I do care to even tune into it, other than the fact of watching it,
Right.
So it's just frustrating because you're paying the price of a quality service that we just know isn't going to be, because this gets thrown together at the last minute, and the FanDuel Sports and the Bally Sports ones certainly weren't. So it's all around just really frustrating. And then on top of it, how am I supposed to explain this to my dad? How am I supposed to? No offense to my dad.
You got to go to this
How
website.
am I going to explain this to anybody who's?
We both just stopped at the same time.
Because I just didn't know what to do.
You got to go to this website. You got to pay for the subscription, but then you got to download the MLB app and then log in through the app through that subscription to Detroit Sports Net. And you watch the Tigers through the MLB app, but once the Wings are officially on here, it's not yet determined where they'll be playing. It's just what is going on?
So
how is this difficult to figure out?
Exactly. So on my TV, on my Roku, I got to have the MLB app to watch them, but then I have to pay for it
on
some
probably
sort
on
of
website.
Yeah, to go to the Detroit Sport. Yeah, and here's my thing. I'm just not doing it yet. I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. I'm not paying for it yet. I will eventually pay for it. I pay for FanDuel Sports Network. You just have to. And you get to watch. I got to watch all 3 teams on it. People complained about it. I agree. It's a terrible service, but you get to watch all 3 of your teams on it.
Yeah, it was worth it.
It was worth it. You paid the $180 or whatever it was for the year, and it's fine. I'll do it.
3 teams. You get to watch them at any point. You can pull it up on your phone.
You do it on my phone. Exactly. Why not? It's worth it to watch all 3 of the teams. For this, I'm going to not refuse to do it yet. I just need more information. I need to figure out some other stuff with this.
All the information's there for you, dude. It just sucks. The information's just bad.
What if you don't have a smart TV? Not everyone has one, right?
Oh, then you should just be able to watch it on cable. Nope. There's no sign that they're going to be able to, other than them telling us that it'll be on cable opening day.
Yeah, it's in 2 days.
And there's still no way to watch it on cable. Right here. How many Tigers games did we watch on this TV last year?
So, a lot of them. Probably watched more of them on that TV than any other one.
Incapable of doing that this year.
Yeah.
And I think the stupidest part about this is if you don't care about national stage, all you want to do is watch your teams.
Which a lot of people are like that, by the way. Most baseball fans.
But Detroit sports in general, Wings, Pistons.
Oh, right.
If that's all you care
Still,
about.
a lot of people are like that too. Yeah.
For a whole month, you got to pay for 2 different streaming services because the Wings aren't flipping over by the end of this season. And then guess what? That problem doesn't even get resolved because as of right now, the Pistons are just on their own, not on the Detroit Sports Network or whatever it's called.
And because the Pistons are going to be in the playoffs, so all the playoff I guess the playoffs would be different, but still just the rest of their season. And if they continue, am I canceling my FanDuel subscription the second the Pistons season is over?
Yes.
I am, right?
Or the Wings season, one of them. There's no way I'm staying signed up through that because the same frustrations I'm having with the Tigers right now that I have to pay $20 a month literally just to watch them all summer long. There's no special summer deal or anything. $20 to watch only the Tigers. I'm going to have the same problem with the Pistons next October when it's hey, whatever streaming service we're on, give us $20 to watch this.
Or
no,
$180
I'm
for the
not
year,
doing
even though they're not on the whole year.
And it's the only team on this network.
Yeah.
No, middle fingers to everybody. What are we talking about? How are the Pistons not included in this Detroit Sports Net? How is that not part of the future plan? I am failing to understand how they're not looking out for the consumer on this.
Well, that's the downfall of the FanDuel Sports Network and even Bally Sports was they created an entire network around sports games. Guess when sports games happen? At night. You need to have other things on these stations. It's a whole network.
You don't like the card shows that they have?
So they just throw random stuff on there, and then obviously it struggles to catch on, and that's why all this continues to fail. This Detroit Sports Net, if this really is the way the Tigers are going to be on, in 5 years is it going to be the way we're watching the Tigers?
Probably
No.
not.
It's because all of this stuff continues to fail, and we've seen some people make the shift. It's a lot of people hate Matt Ishbia. One of the really positive things that he's done for the Phoenix Suns was putting the Suns on cable TV for free. Like, if you have a cable connection, you can watch the Suns. If you have an antenna,
Same way with the Lions.
You don't even have to have direct TV. Exactly. You just got to have an antenna. You can watch the Suns. And I think that's a really cool thing that they did. And obviously, not everybody's willing to do stuff like that, especially when there's different people in different teams, like, with Illich and Gores. Like, it is going to be a little bit of an odd situation going on there. But the fact that this used to be so simple on Fox Sports Detroit, man, April into D. We're seeing people talk about that in the YouTube chat. Owen says, man, I miss Fox Sports Detroit. Like, it was so simple.
But they're yes, it was so simple. But now there's the streaming platforms and all that stuff. So, I get it. Some of this stuff had to happen.
But why can't it just be that way in the version of a streaming service?
That's I am going to freak out if come October the Pistons aren't a part of this Detroit sports net, and I have to pay for two different. Regardless,
I'm gonna freak out on Thursday if I can't watch the Tigers. It's that's what I'm thinking.
That's going to happen. I'm the most frustrated because all the Detroit sports teams are not in the same app anymore.
Which is ridiculous.
You can pay for the $20 subscription. Guess what? You still have to do the annoying go to the MLB app. Okay, now you got to go to the NHL network. I don't even know if that's an app. And Lord knows how the Pistons are going to be played too. So there's just an incredible amount of frustration that those aren't all centrally located in the same place. Not only that they're not all under the same subscription, because the Pistons aren't included in that and the Wings aren't included until next season. Not only am I frustrated about that, I'm frustrated they're not in the same location. And I'm frustrated for the Olds. Because on Thursday,
of course,
I don't know how the hell they're supposed to figure out how to watch the Tigers if they're not on cable.
And what a terrible way. Even if it's the day before, they come out tomorrow night and they're like, we're going to be on Spectrum. We're partnering with Spectrum. There it is. Boom. Okay, you gave the people a day in advance because a lot of people, older people, watch more Tigers than anything. They'll base what TV provider they have off of who carries the Tigers. So okay, you have a day in advance to switch cable network providers. It's all around just a terrible time to be a consumer of this type of stuff of local teams. You can have any single subscription to whatever streaming service you want if you want to catch up on national games in any sport. It's the best time ever for that. But for your local team to watch them,
impossible.
Talk about a terrible time to be a fan.
It's literally impossible as a Pistons, Tigers, Wings fan.
Yes.
Impossible. Plus, and then you throw in the Lions. It's half their games are on Prime or Peacock or something along those lines, too. It's become incredibly frustrating. And then you throw in the ESPN, how they never figure their stuff out with YouTube TV at all. My mind is blown as to how much they've failed miserably here and just letting people be able to watch this team. The Tigers start in 2 days. We have no idea if they're on cable or not.
It's terrible. RP in the YouTube chat, he's right. How do we not have someone who's wealthy that can just fix this on one channel? Detroit sports needs a hero. Fine, I'll do it.
We got this. Someone texted in, I pay for Spectrum TV Choice. My guide currently shows Detroit Sportsnet, and I put the channel on it, and it doesn't have any programming. Hopefully when the Tigers come on, the game will be there.
Okay.
It won't.
Interesting that it's there, though.
It could.
Interesting that maybe the deal, they're about to spark a deal with Spectrum.
That's nice, though. That's some good insight right there.
What's going to be on the channel the rest of the time baseball's not on? Replays of the game over and over?
That's what I'm confused about, though, because you have to go to the MLB app to watch the game, so it's not even like you can stream whatever else they're having,
Well, if they partner with a cable provider, they have to. It's a channel. It's its own network. They will have to have stuff playing on it the rest of the time.
But you can't stream it, though, because you have to do it. You have to watch the Tigers through the MLB app, even though the subscription is elsewhere. There's layers on layers.
Yeah, you'd be able to stream it through Spectrum app. You'd be able to go to the channel that they're on. You could do it that way.
So to watch the actual network, you have to go to that app, and then to watch the actual
Why
game,
is there
you have
not
to
a
go
Detroit
to MLB.
Sportsnet app?
Because everyone in charge of this is a moron, essentially.
Yeah.
That's my only explanation. I don't really understand.
I think that is the only explanation.
How is there not a Detroit Sportsnet app where you can watch the games? That's all we're asking for. 989-837-6125. Thanks for texting in, Tom. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast. And at Yater Insurance, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades. They treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yater has the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. That's Yater Insurance Group. We'll be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Are we sleeping on Riley Green? I think the answer might be yes. I really do believe that we're going to continue to see Riley Green take steps forward. Maybe that uppercut swing has to be leveled out a little bit. But I believe him when he says he took it to heart this offseason to fix his approach at the plate depending on the situation that he's in. He essentially admitted last year I was just trying to hit home run every at-bat, which is something he didn't seem to have a problem with throughout the season. He didn't really care that he struck out as often as he did. He didn't care that his approach at the plate was as disastrous as it was because he was hitting home runs. And he kind of was open and vulnerable and admitted, yeah, that was my approach because I felt like I could hit a ball 5,000 feet every at-bat that I had, no matter what the situation was. But now I've a lot more understanding that depending on how many outs there are and what the score is and where runners are on base, I've got to change my approach as to what my goal is at the plate. It's not always about blasting a home run out of the park. Sometimes it's just about giving what the game gives you. I believe him. Like, sorry, I do, though. I'm always, I don't want to say I'm always going to be biased towards Riley Green, but, man, he represented a saving grace of a really dark time of Tigers baseball, and I think that's something I'll always kind of be appreciative for from Riley Green.
Yeah, when Jonathan Scope was the star player.
Yeah, man, that was tough, and Riley came through, and that's kind of when the rise started happening for the Tigers again, when you kind of had to start paying attention to the team again. I feel like he was always – Kevin McGonigle's now the new shiny toy. But I feel like Riley was always the person through the minor leagues. I know Torque was the 1.01, but Riley, by the time they got to the majors, was the guy. It was like, this is the person who's going to save the Tigers. And I feel like he's done an okay job at that. For as frustrating as a season as he had last year, for as polarizing as a season as he had last year, the Tigers have gone to the playoffs 2 years in a row, have won a playoff series 2 years in a row. He's been an all-star 2 years in a row. He has, in a way, based on what was happening before he showed up, saved the Tigers. And I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be an MVP and take this enormous step forward yet again and be one of the best. I do think that the progression that he has is continuing to be linear, though. And that is going to make me believe some of the quotes that he's having about being a little bit better of a situational baseball player and going into this year, approaching his at-bats a lot differently. I think he's still going to be the best bat on this team. I know there was floated around the idea of McGonigle taking that title, and I think one day he will. But as of right now, this is still Riley Green's team, and I'm willing to buy some stock on him that he's more of a well-rounded player at the plate this year than he was last year. It's more of a consistent season, I think.
Well, the good news is for the people that don't love the uppercut swing, you don't have to watch it because how the hell are we going to watch it?
Bad guy.
Yeah, no. Anyways, going back to the initial question of, like, are we sleeping on Riley Green? Because I think you and I do have a little bit of indifferences about the outlook of Riley Green, and I don't want to be the guy that says I don't think he's going to be a star or I don't think he's going to be good, but I'm just a little bit more bullish on him taking a leap forward, another one. I think he might just be the guy we saw last year, which is still a pretty good player. We probably still are sleeping on Riley Green either way, though. Like you said, I mean, all offseason, it's just when it's not been about Tarek Skubal, it's been about Kevin McGonigle.
Even Cole Keith.
The guy's not even going to be on the team to start the season, probably. Like, Riley Green still is the best hitter on this team, and come October in 2026, he probably still will be.
Yeah.
It could be McGonigle. I would be really surprised if it was Keith. I still think Keith is like the X-factor guy that, like, if he takes a leap, this team takes a large leap.
Sure.
But also if Riley Green, like, he still is the number one guy in this team. He still is. If you had to put money on someone to be an all-star for the Tigers this year, who are you going to pick?
Of their bats? Yeah.
Yeah, offensively. It's obviously Riley Green. Like, he'd be a minus 500, right? So I don't think that it is anything to be necessarily talking about the downside of Riley Green's last season and highlighting that for this year. He still is going to be a great player. It's that simple. Mm-hmm. So, yes, we probably are sleeping on Riley Green.
But so you do agree we're sleeping, but you're not willing to buy the stock, it sounds like. You're willing to just whatever
probably
stock
not.
you had, hold
probably
it
not.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think I would just hold it. I'm definitely not selling it. I'm not like, oh, I'm out on Riley Green, because also I don't think it's like a good time to do that. But I don't think I would be a little bit more bullish on him being a, once again, 35 homer guy while also just limiting the strikeouts a ton and walking more. If he has the same amount of strikeouts but walks 30 to 40 more times, I would feel great, because that means his OPS goes way up. Exactly. The strikeouts is not the thing to me. It's the strikeouts and the walks. You gotta fix one. You can't be both.
To me, it's not even one or the other. You're right. It's both. To me, it's less about the strikeouts and more about the, hey, man, if you're going to strike out, it can't be in 3 pitches. That happened way too often last year.
Sure. I mean, a strikeout is still a strikeout.
I know, but it helps the team when you can work a count and everyone behind you in the lineup can see a couple more pitches. The guy in the on-deck circle gets to see a couple more go by. See it on the monitors, like what they're looking at in the dugout. Work the pitch count up so you can get the starter out of the game in the first game of a series, and the team's got to go to their bullpen early on in the series. Like, that sort of stuff matters and adds up over the course of a season. So when Riley Green goes up there and strikes out in 3 at-bats, or 3 times, and in total he sees 10 pitches, that kind of stuff hurts the team's chances of succeeding, even though it doesn't show up in the box score. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it does. You're right. Especially when you already have Javi Baez as one of those guys.
Right, who got a lot better at that last season. But
he did, you're right.
But if the Tigers are going to be a team that can take advantage of the ABS system, it's going to require everyone to hone in on the strike zone, which is something that Scott Harris has been preaching about since the day he showed up. This has to be the year that it actually shows up for the star players on this team. Because the star players on this team, whether you like it or not, are Javi Baez and Riley Green. They have to be more disciplined in knowing the plate and knowing when and when not to swing. You're going to live with the strikeouts with Javi and Riley because you have to. They're never going to be elite disciplined guys. They have to be better than they have been, though.
And you know who is going to be an elite disciplined guy?
Kevin McGonigle.
Correct.
11 walks in spring training.
And Max Clark and Josue Briseño. Like, these guys, that's what I know that they're minor league numbers compared to major league numbers. That's what they are, though. Like, that's the type of hitters that they are. They are disciplined hitters that get on base a ton.
That's what Scott Harris wants in the minor league system. Those are the prospects
That's what he
wants.
That's what he wants overall. And the guys that he didn't bring in, or the guys currently on the team, are striking out a lot.
But if you can merge Riley Green's ability to hit the home run with his ability to have good plate discipline like he did earlier on in his career, all of a sudden you do have like one of the best players in the American League from an offensive standpoint. You do.
Sure.
I think all that is still possible. Am I going to sit here and plant my flag on that? Yeah, right. This is going to happen for Riley Green. No, not necessarily, but I'm not closing the door on that. And it kind of sounds like you might be ready to close the door, or at least shutting the door on that.
Yeah, it's cracked.
I think I'm still going to leave it mostly open, that he can take that leap forward and be, three All-Stars in a row would not be any sort of joke,
But I'm not saying he's not going to be an All-Star this year. I think that's where he is. I think he's just like an All-Star level player that strikes out a ton and hits a lot of bombs. I don't think we always say like Aaron Judge led the league in strikeouts. I don't think Riley Green is getting to Aaron Judge.
No, I don't. Okay, yeah.
I don't think Riley Green is getting to Kyle Schwarber.
Who's had 200 strikeouts 2 or 3 times.
Right.
In his
He's
career.
also led the league in homers, or led his National League, whichever league he was in for the time,
right,
as well. He's like an elite power bat, and always been a really low batting average guy. Like always has been. Yeah. But he brings the bombs.
I think so. Okay. Here's where we'll leave this. Last year, Riley Green, what did we say? It was 258 batting average, and I know batting average is what it is. Like the olds like it. I think you and I are most people our age. OPS.
There's many more effective statistics to look at.
Sure,
correct.
But sometimes I do think we've gone so far away from batting average that, I like if a guy's hitting 300, I think he's probably a pretty good hitter.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like we go away from the simplest metrics when sometimes maybe that's what you do need to look at a little bit. Let's do that right now. If Riley Green hit 258 last year, what would you set his over-under at this year?
Is it dumb to just say the same, like 260, just right there?
Then I'd take the over. How about? Well, okay, I'll take the over. I'll set it at 270. Would you take the over or under?
Never would take the over.
Really? I'll do it. I think he's like a 270, 280 hitter this year. And a lot more discipline, a lot more singles, a lot more doubles, although you don't really want him pushing any triples. I think he still hits the home runs, and there's a lot more walks drawn and a lot less strikeouts. I really think we're going to see the best version of Riley Green this year, and he's going to put it all together.
I hope so.
And be one of the best well-rounded players from an offensive standpoint in baseball.
Yeah, I will willingly be wrong. I'd love that.
989-837-6125. Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. We'll hit the news when we come back. If you're looking for workwear that actually works as hard as you do, you've got to check out Thomas Trading Post. They've been proudly serving the Tri-County area for over 40 years, and when it comes to trusted brands and dependable gear, they know their stuff. In fact, they've got the largest retail of Carhartt in the area, which means the selection you want and the quality you expect all in one place. Thomas Trading Post, built to work, built to last.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on East Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
It's 11:30, which means it's time to see what's going on in the world of sports. Kyle Sandel, take it away with the news.
The Mits Morning Catch.
Okay, we're back in the news. Not a ton going on in the news world nowadays, man.
Very slow week for as much as hectic and chaos that we had this weekend. Slow week in terms of what's going on in the actual sports world until tomorrow we get opening day. Netflix. You're going to be tapped
Opening
in.
day's tomorrow? I thought it was all Thursday.
No, there's a Giants versus Yankees game on Netflix.
How did I not know this?
You gonna be tapped in?
It's on Netflix.
It is.
Oh, I'm totally going to watch this then. Oh, that's great. At 8:05, yeah. Wow, that's actually very exciting.
It's the only game on tomorrow,
It's
right?
the only game on, yeah. Okay, I thought it all started on Thursday, so.
Aaron Judge's going to hit
That's
like
great.
2 home runs and a double, and we're going to be like, where the hell was this during the World Baseball Classic?
Exactly. In case you're wondering, too, it says MLB TV for where Tigers Padres will be on.
So smart.
So that's good information there. Baseball is starting at 1:15 on Thursday, though. And you get a game at 2, bunch of games at 4, game at 8:30, game at 10. We got Diamondbacks Dodgers with the NBC baseball start on Thursday night at 8:30, by the way.
That's ideal.
Probably going to be tapped into that, even though March Madness is going to be going on.
Yeah, but there's only one March Madness game on at a time now, right?
Correct. Yes.
Or maybe on the late window?
Wrong. Actually, there are 2 games on at the same time, both on Thursday, which is frustrating. Let's give the people those game times while we can do that for the news Thursday,
Sure.
Friday. Texas Purdue's at 7:10, Iowa Nebraska at 7:30. So those games will be on at the same time, and then Arkansas Arizona 9:45 and Illinois Houston on a Thursday night. Tips off at 10:05 p.m.
Are you serious?
Look, I understand.
What's the late one?
Illinois Houston, which is like
The best
probably
game?
the best game of
Oh
all
my
of these.
God,
That or Arkansas Arizona. Really frustrating. I understand because a lot of people make the debate of like, well, you can't why don't you just start the game at 5 and then you can't start the game at 5 Eastern. You just can't because then it's on at 2 in the West Coast.
Screw the West Coast, man.
But that's not a thing. We've never been screw the West Coast. That's never been we already kind of screw the West Coast.
How about that? How many
This first
teams
game starts at 4 p.m. for the West Coast.
How many teams left in this? And no one from the West Coast complains about that, though. They love it. They want it as early as possible.
They love it.
Yes. It's incredible when the games are on early. How many teams from the Sweet 16 are in the West time zone?
Well, as far as these 8 teams here that are playing on Thursday go, Arizona.
That's it?
That's it. Texas is obviously in the Central Time Zone there, and then every other team is pretty much East Houston as well.
They're catering to location rather than the
right.
actual team.
Friday night, which I will not complain about Friday night games being on late. It's Friday night.
Sure.
Stay up late, grow up. None of those teams are out west, though. So, but a lot of people make the argument of, well, why don't you start a game at 5 and then so that the other games, I would rather them do just the staggering of all 4 games. Like start a game at 6, start a game at 7:30, start a game at 8:30, and start a game at 9:30. I know people don't love that because the endings are, and it's tough to do that with, of course, the networks. They're being played in the same location, this and that. I get it. This has always been an issue of March Madness, of the Sweet 16 round.
That's garbage.
It's always been an issue. The game times as far as Friday night go, Alabama, Michigan at 7:35 p.m., Michigan State, UConn at 9:45.
They have no problem with games being played in the middle of the day, the first round and the second round.
Because they literally have to.
But what's stopping them from being like, hey, we're doing one game at a time starting at 2 p.m.? West Coast, congratulations,
you know
get
why.
an 11 o'clock game.
You know why. When are more people going to watch? At 7 p.m. on a Thursday or at 2 p.m. on a Thursday?
At 10:05 or at 7 or 9. The
But then it's
10:05
prime-
is brutal. I
It's
can't
prime
stay
time
up
for the
and
West
watch
Coast.
that.
It's a prime time slot for somebody.
Who the hell cares in the West Coast about Houston versus Illinois, though? Both teams are in the Central.
I mean, you just think no one cares about March Madness?
I don't think it's a very West Coast thing, no. I think way more people in the East Coast care about college basketball.
Oh, I agree because there's just way more teams. Totally, I'm with you there. But to say that no one cares is, I think, a little bit of a stretch. But we'll see.
10 o'clock is ridiculous.
It is. I'm with you though. It absolutely is ridiculous. I just don't really know what the resolve is. We did get news from one of those players playing in the Sweet 16 Thursday night, though. Darius Acuff Jr., the Detroit kid, is landing a historic Reebok shoe deal. Yes, Acuff is signing with Reebok. Of course, now players can sign with a shoe deal prior to entering the NBA. It gets kind of weird because, like, the schools have deals with teams. Like, Arkansas is a Nike school, and he's a Reebok athlete now or whatever. But pretty cool stuff. They don't have the exact number on this or anything, but it's just cool to see a player that is so young already getting a sneaker deal. And Reebok, too, of all things.
Well, that's back-to-back dudes that have, like, in college came into the NBA on a deal. It's not Nike. You would think Nike would be after the top guys. Under Armour, too, now that they've lost Curry. It's been Reebok to get Acuff and then New Balance to get Cooper Flag last year.
Any wild guess of the last Reebok sneaker athlete? This has been some time. It was a former John Calipari guard, though. A lot of people were saying
Jamal
that
Murray?
these are the two best Calipari guards ever in college.
Shea?
John Wall. John Wall was Reebok. Yeah, pretty cool, actually, to think about that. He was so sick. So this is actually, this deal for Acuff is the first time a men's athlete has received a deal with a brand while still in college. So Cooper Flags came in the in-between time of college and the draft. So this is the first time that it's happened. So
Acuff shooting up the draft boards.
Yes.
Skyrocketing.
With the Reeboks on. Yeah, super fun to watch. You can watch him play against Arizona Thursday night at, I think, midnight or 1 a.m. is when that's tipping off. So if you want to watch that. A couple other things going on here in the news. Steve Kerr says that Steph Curry will return and play in the play-in tournament if the Warriors are going to be in it. Newsflash, they are going to be in the play-in tournament. So Steph Curry, who's missed some time now, is going to return for that. Other NBA news, though, Victor Wembanyama is making his case to win the MVP, Ben. I know you've been on this for some time, but they asked him about it after last night's game. They had a big win. He said, yeah, I've thought about it. I think right now there's a debate for it. There should be, even though I think I lead the race. I'm trying to make sure that at the end of the season, there's no debate.
You know, he's third in MVP odds right now, which I think is insane.
Who's first and second? Actually, Shea Jokic.
Nope.
Shea Luka.
Yeah.
Jokic not even in the top 3.
I know Luka's been on an absolute heater for 6 weeks. Are we just going to ignore the first part of the season?
That's kind of how the odd stuff always goes, right?
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Wemby has just been a more consistent player this year. I think he should be the MVP. It's going to be Shea, though.
Yeah, it is going to be Shea. Maybe Cade.
No.
Yeah,
not even in, like, not even, I don't even see odds listed for
probably
him.
because he's not going to play the games, which stinks. Couple more things in the news. Andrew McCutchen is going to make the opening day roster of the Texas Rangers. So McCutchen is just still working his way around. He was with the Pirates for, I think, the last 2 years. He was with the Brewers before that. He is still kicking it, and he is going to make the opening day roster for Texas.
What was the alternative?
Retire? I mean, it has to be. He's been playing for an insanely long time now. So shout out McCutchen. I think that was, at least for me growing up, a lot of your favorite non-Tiger, a lot of people's favorite non-Tiger was Andrew McCutchen.
Miggy versus McCutchen. Those were the two MVPs.
McCutchen rocked.
Of each league.
He was so awesome, yeah. Last thing we got in the news, Michigan State basketball commit for 2026, Josiah Jervis, was announced the New York State Gatorade Player of the Year. Tom Izzo's got that great class coming in next year. Of course, they're still rocking things this season in the Sweet 16, but a lot of really good freshmen coming in next season, and one of them is Josiah Jervis.
Yeah, the top guy is Ethan Taylor, correct? Or do they have another guy ranked ahead of him?
Taylor's one, I believe Jervis is two, yeah.
Yeah. Ethan Taylor, we were talking about this yesterday, where he's from. It was Missouri. 4-star.
Interesting.
Number 3 center in all of high
Hopefully he's
school
not the
right
next
now.
Xavier Booker.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the news.
Kind of looks like a similar build.
I know. That's why I'm a little worried.
7 foot,
Skinny,
244.
tall guy.
244,
He's
that might be
bigger,
a stretch.
Booker was definitely smaller than that.
989-837-6125. We'll do our 3 traditions to close out each show when we come back. Your dream lawn, Stravinsky sod can roll that out literally. Locally grown, top-quality sod that turns patchy yards into backyard showstoppers. And they've been doing it for over 50 years, which means they're experts. Whether you're fixing a rough spot or redoing your whole yard, Stravinsky delivers lush, green perfection. Fast, friendly, and farm fresh because your grass should be greener right now. Don't settle for Increase the value of your home and get the lawn your neighbors will envy with Stravinsky sod.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we got 3 things to get to before the day is done at 12:56. The first of which is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Okay, yesterday we've officially entered a cold stretch, haven't we?
Yeah.
We didn't win yesterday.
No.
Which means we're down in March now?
It's been really bad. Let's give the people a quick update on the lock of the day stats. Yeah, it's been really bad. That's the update. So basically you have lost.
Thanks.
Yep. 5 of the last 6 picks have been L's. You went 1-4 last week. You did start off with an L today. You are not only down in the month of March, you're 1.45 units down in the month of March. You are now down in 2026 too,
Ooh.
which has not happened since like early February. You've been up mostly all of this month or all of this year. You're 0.39 units down though. So you get it back tonight and you'll be back over. Still got work to do though as far as the month of March goes.
It's okay. We get it back we get it back today when Karl Anthony Towns scores 25 points against the New Orleans Pelicans, who just don't play defense. They don't even have the capability of playing defense. They don't have big men who are able to protect the rim. They don't really have anything going for them. And they're trying to lose, I think. So I'll go with Karl Anthony Towns to score 25 points. What do you think?
I think this is a weird pick.
Why?
I'm not going to lie. I've told you the last 2 days, so don't call me a hater.
I'm not.
I think it's a weird pick when you say that the Red Wings game is a must-win tonight, and then you rock with Karl Anthony Towns to score 25 points.
The Red Wings are also minus 130 tonight.
Yeah, but you need a win, you know?
Yeah, it's tough.
Plus 180, though. Like, you've been doing a lot of these plus bets, and they have not really been working. They were, like, you were doing it earlier in March, and they were working.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, 4 of the 5 bets you placed were all plus, and those were all 4 that you missed.
Maybe I should have done Red Wings money line then. The problem with it is I can't bet on the Red Wings in March. I can't
That's a good
actually
point.
do
well,
that.
You could have bet Senators money line.
Then you're just betting against the Wings, and
Yes,
you get into a really tricky part.
Yeah, it seems tough. But it's almost as bad as betting on Karl Anthony Towns, though.
There's not a lot of
fading.
options tonight.
I just don't like Karl Anthony Towns.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of options though tonight. We're in a really there's not a lot of NBA games on tonight, so you could go to the NHL and that's where I'll go for the next thing. But that's where I got to stick.
Even the women's tournament is on a break now. They just wrapped up their round of 32 last night, so you have 0 college basketball choices.
I saw one perfect bracket remains for the women.
I saw that. How
That's
was there
impressive.
only one? Just one? That's so weird.
Would it be weirder than 2?
I think 2 would be less weird. Because then now you see 1, and I'm like, that seems fishy.
How? In what way?
I don't know.
The women's bracket's a little easier to predict, though, right?
Yeah, but that just goes to show you how insanely impossible it is to have a perfect bracket. Even that one is more predictable. They have 1 double-digit seed in the Sweet 16. Most all the 1 and 2 seeds all still alive. Yet there's only 1 perfect bracket.
I think there'd be more perfect brackets if there was as many men's brackets made as there was women's brackets.
Yeah, that seems fair. We just got to ask AI to make us one, and it'll have a perfect
spit us out
bracket.
9 quintillion brackets.
Yeah.
One of them will be perfect. That is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Game of the day, I'm heading to the NHL, 9:30 start, Edmonton versus Utah. Connor McDavid out in Salt Lake City taking on the Mammoth. The Mammoth, there's like a real push from that crowd that they've just completely embraced that team and taken it as their own and basically stole them from all the Arizona fans, or like the 7 Arizona fans that exist. They're really pushing for this Utah team because the Jazz.
You went there.
I couldn't believe how busy it was the 2 nights that I was there. I didn't go to a Mammoth game. Streets flooded with people in Mammoth gear heading to the games.
That's cool.
They love them,
I mean, it makes
especially because
sense,
the
too.
Jazz they're not giving them anything.
And that's their only team, right? The Jazz, their only team in that area, and if they suck and are giving up, like you rock with the other team. So
And they every
It makes sense.
Every place I was on it has mammoth gear everywhere. They have completely embraced that team. It's pretty cool.
And I know this doesn't matter, but like when you have they have a cool logo, a cool mascot, and their color scheme is cool.
And it's unique.
All of it is great. A lot of the new teams that we've seen implemented in all sports over the last so many years, let's be straight up, they're all super basic and boring.
Yeah.
The logos, the color schemes, the names, the mammoth is awesome. So that totally plays into it too.
Good colors, good logo, arena's nice. Everyone in that city has totally embraced them. So I'll go them hosting Connor McDavid and the Oilers tonight in a matchup that features 2 playoff teams. That is my game of the day.
Game of the day.
All right, last thing we got. What do we think Colin Cowherd?
1 sec, we have one more tradition that we got to sneak in here.
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
That's what it is tonight. Edmonton versus Utah. Must-see TV. Colin Cowherd, what do we think he opens up his show with? I don't know whose turn it is to go first.
You got a point yesterday, by the way. You ended my hot streak. I think I was on a 4-day-in-a-row streak or something like that, or I'd gotten 4 points in a row.
That's impressive.
You ended it yesterday, though. Nailed it. Colin Cowherd just did a whole college basketball, the portal, NIL, it's all good. You all hated it, and it's all good. That was pretty expected.
He loves doing that.
He loves doing that. You want to know why he loves doing that? Because he didn't know anything about any of the teams. So he just does that as I've been watching. I have been.
Not wrong.
You get a point. 48-45 is the score. And I think it is my turn. Yep, 202 episode today. So it's my turn to go first. And wow, what a tough day to go first. I mean, what could he lead with? If the Pistons would have played Cade last night, you could have went with Cade. I think that would have been something there. Because the Lakers have been led on this show 5 days last week with J-Mac, and the Lakers' winning streak came to an end. I'm going to go with Wemby, though. I'm going to go with Wemby.
Yeah,
that's it.
That was going to be my pick.
Except I go on ESPN, and the top thing I see is Mike McCarthy says Aaron Rodgers' reunion with the Steelers would be a great story. And
Aaron,
that
he
just has
loves
Colin
Aaron
Cowherd all over it.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark here.
Oh.
And if I get a point, I feel like I should get 3.
That's not how it works, but sure. Okay, then if you get 3, I get 2 if you're wrong.
No. I'm going to go with Jeremiah Love is the best player in the draft.
You think that's worthy of 3 whole points?
That'd be crazy if I pulled that out of nowhere.
It would be.
I'll go with
impressive.
Jeremiah Love. Yeah.
That'd be really impressive.
I think he leads with Jeremiah Love is secretly the best player in this draft, and the Giants should draft him 5th overall.
We're getting into NFL draft talk, so I could see it.
30 days away from the draft, baby. More Lions tomorrow. I think we got to hit the Lions a little harder tomorrow.
Sure.
That's going to do it for us today, though. Like and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on it all. Just search Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid.